Hello, hello. We are doing this because I can't wait for Sunday. I want to get back on this bullshit as fast as possible. And I just need a break from doing art. My shoulders are not happy with me. Greetings, Lyriquin. God damn it, I can't read words right now. This is gonna go well. How are you guys tonight? Oh, no worries. I mean, we're pretty much going to be playing through content we've played through before. But we might discover some scenes that we missed because of choices we made. So, I'm following a walkthrough this time. We're going to make sure we get all the right choices to make sure Heisuke adores the crap out of us by the end so that we get the good ending. I'm doing well. Just doing the work thing. I've spent the last couple of nights doing some prep for the Magical Fury game I'm going to be running on Sunday for a couple of folks. So I've been living that magical girl life, which is quite fun. And then of course coming on to play this and enjoy a good samurai story with all of y'all. We'll give it a little bit more time for people to filter on in. So what have you guys all been up to? How are things with all of you? Oh Lord. Lyra, you should be sleeping, my man. Hi, Elisa. Oh, bummer. Well, don't give up. Just keep on pushing through and keep on trying. Hey, Grim! So how many folks do we have here tonight that have not been sitting in on the Hakuoki streams? Because some explanation may be in order in that case. Ooh, rewatching Elementary. I never did watch that. Ah, yes. And Lynn is my historical assistant, since she and I are both gigantic Bakumatsu Japan nerds and read up on that shit a lot. She will happily type explanations about historical context going on in the game when I am trying to basically act and play the part of Chizuru and not trying to interrupt the narrative. Which, this time around, I think I will try to avoid interrupting the narrative moments a bit more and just like stay in character and read through, and then I will catch up on comments in between and talk at you guys. Especially on like the more serious scenes or something. If it's like historical bullshit, I'll interject, but character dramas, I'd like to keep the immersion going. Sound cool? The days you used to break me with your screaming and tease. Yeah, that was fun. It was super good. All good. We're really just we're starting straight up from the beginning, Grim, so you're not gonna miss a whole heck of a lot. Smooching does happen, it's just not gonna happen for a while. We have to earn it. All that buildup. I mean, to be fair, we got some hand holding, which was adorable and sweet, and then, you know, we got the not good endings. Anyway. Sound-wise, we're doing good, yes? Cool. I think there are points where the sound effects may get a little bit loud, but I don't want to necessarily turn those too far down because I think during the fight scenes they're pretty freaking great to have swords clanging super loud in your ears. Grim. We got some hand holding, then they stabbed our hearts out simultaneously. I love this game. Yeah, hard same. The hardest same. Right. Are we ready to start? I think we're ready to start. I'm gonna let the opening run. Because I'm gonna run and refresh my drink super quick. And then we will do the thing. So let me back out of here. Okay. BRB, my friends. Alright, let's do the thing. Look at all them cherry blossoms. Okay. I guess we do new game. 'Cause whatever. Yep. We are always Chizuru. Lest we forget, this is a work of fiction, however historically based it may be. Hello, Anarisis! Percy says hello as well. If we skip the prologue, we basically skip that scary-ass scene where she first meets them, and she wakes up tied up, I think. I think I want to play through the prologue, because I generally like the scene setting it does. But what do you guys think? Play through it? Alright, we're gonna do it. Oh shit, I hit skip, because I'm a dumbass. God damn it. We're gonna go back to the title and do that over again already. I was thinking, yes, let's play through the prologue, not yes, let's skip the prologue, because I'm a moron. God damn it. Okay. No, we would not like to skip the prologue. Already making the good choices. Derp, derp, derp.
So this is Kyoto. It was awfully impressive, no denying it. Even simple hellos between people passing in the street seemed warm and friendly. They nodded and smiled to one another as if family and not strangers about on errands. Still, there was something else as well. Something making the city feel strangely cold. Almost as though there was a great invisible wall shutting out anyone wandering from the country. I'm not sure if I belong here. No, that's all in my head. I walked quite some distance to reach Kyoto, and both my mind and body were exhausted. Even so, tiredness was no reason to meander and feel sorry for myself. I couldn't afford to. Excuse me. I hesitantly stopped a passerby. I'm sorry, I seem to be a bit lost. Could you... What am I supposed to do now? I was lost again, but in a different sort of way. I sighed and looked up at the darkening sky. The sun was beginning to set. People I'd spoken to showed me no unkindness, and they'd given me directions I'd needed, but... Was now really the best time to leave the city? Learning the person I'd hoped to visit had left town caused hope to seep from my crumbling resolve. The only person besides Father I could rely on in the city, Dr. Matsumoto. Dr. Matsumoto was a doctor serving the shogunate. I had never met him myself, but my father put a great deal of trust in the man. He had told me that if I ran into any trouble in his absence, I was to contact Dr. Matsumoto. Unfortunately, Dr. Matsumoto was out on business and would not return for some time. Was I too hasty? Perhaps I should have waited. It is indeed rude to visit without warning, which is why I had sent a letter prior to my arrival. But it seems he had left before reading my letter. Perhaps, I thought, I should have waited for a reply before traveling to an unfamiliar city. But I can no longer spend time waiting idly for news. Is something wrong, Father? He paused for a moment and looked at me.
実はな、しばらくの間、京の都へ行くことになった。
Is it for business again? He'd left the house often during that period, sometimes for days at a time. How long will you be gone?
それはわからん。一月になるか、二月になるか。
Oh. There was no hiding my disappointment. Nonetheless, I wasn't a child anymore. I couldn't beg him not to go or some other foolishness. Yes, I'd be lonely, but I was much more worried for him. Please, Father, be careful. They say that the city of Kyoto is dangerous. He only smiled and nodded.
安心しなさい。お前が心配しないように、京にいる間はできる限り手紙を書くよ。
Okay, you promise? Father kept his promise. A new letter arrived so often I scarcely had time to respond before another would arrive. He told me that he worried about me being home all by myself. Then the letters stopped. A whole month passed with no word. Father... They say Kyoto is full of ronin. It is not a safe place. Usually a samurai is paid by their house, but ronin who report to no house often rob people in order to make ends meet. They're nothing more than violent criminals who hide behind the image of the samurai. Such is the state of the city of Kyoto, the city of ronin. Small wonder, then, that I worried for my father. My mind would concoct horrible possibilities, and I often found myself depressed and tense. First, I suppose I need to find a place to stay. Lost in thought, I didn't notice nightfall descend. If I was honest with myself, I hadn't the faintest idea of how long searching for him would take. I'd brought a negligible sum of money with me, enough to last me a month if used wisely. Finding Father in this window of time was a must. Otherwise, I would have to depend on Dr. Matsumoto returning in this time, or else I'd be forced to return home without a word. Well, at any rate, I should try and be as frugal as possible. I lengthened my stride and set off on my path. Fortunately for me, men's clothing assisted with keeping at a quicker pace than women's. Kyoto presented many dangers to a young girl hoping to explore the city without direction. My disguise, such as it was, proved successful, and I'd safely made it all the way to Kyoto. Such success went to my head and led me to believe I could explore Kyoto as I pleased. But Kyoto is not a safe place. I should have remembered that. Instead, I had somehow convinced myself that the city's hidden dangers didn't apply to me. Uh-oh. I was about to discover otherwise. I spun around. In the street in front of me were 3 ronin. Can I help you? I did my best to keep my voice calm, reaching nonchalantly for my kodachi. My father encouraged me to take sword lessons. I'd kept with them, and I did rather well. I was confident enough in defending myself. However, perhaps my overconfidence in myself is what served the situation at hand to me. I'd messed up and let my guard down. My fault. There was a chance I could take them on, but there were 3 of them. And 1 of me. Only then did I realize they were far more interested in my sword than they were in me.
小僧には過ぎたもんだろ。
よこせ。国のために俺たちが使ってやる。
But this is... The sword wasn't just some blade I'd picked up. It was a family heirloom spanning generations. There was no way I could give it to the Ronin. Though I had a feeling they wouldn't understand. In such a situation, the best decision was undoubtedly to retreat. I turned and ran as fast as my legs could.
あ、おい、待ちやがれ小僧。
Gosh, they sure don't give up easily, do they? I felt like I'd been running for quite a while, but I could still hear the Ronin cursing loudly. I ducked into an alley, flattening against the wall. After deciding they weren't too close, I crept farther into the alley. Someone left a couple of sheets of wood leaning up against one of the houses. A perfect hiding spot. What luck, I thought, kneeling down under them. This is my way to escape this mess. Huh? I was listening for sounds intently. A suspicious calm entered my mind. I'd expected to hear the Ronin yelling to each other, looking for me, but... Seconds turned into minutes. I heard nothing. I was about to sneak out and have a look when... What? My plan to investigate was immediately halted. Remaining silent and hidden was more important. Still...
くそ、やりやがったな。くそ、なんで死なねえんだよ。ダメだ、こいつら刀が効かねえ。
It was then that true fear began to set in. There was something dangerous out there. Something quite possibly lethal. My imagination conjured up no shortage of gruesome theories. Even so, I could feel an itch of curiosity. I wanted to know what was out there. Carefully, I peeked around the corner's edge. The cold reflection of moonlight upon a blade glared at me, and my eyes followed it to the arm that held it, clad in a coat of light blue. Had this person saved me? But no slower than it appeared, my hope vanished. I heard the Ronin stumbling to beg for his life. The person in the blue coat said nothing, just stepped forward, his sword raised. The high, screeching laugh cut the man's scream. The blade fell through the air like a butcher's knife rather than a sword. No skill, just death. The scream turned wet, caught, and disappeared like air leaving half-empty bellows. My eyes went wide. I had just witnessed a murder. Any strength I'd received vanished quickly. My legs gave way and I crumbled to the ground. My eyes widened like busted shells. He died with the first blow, but as I watched, the blades fell, carving lines into the corpse. The soft slip of a blade through flesh, the silent creep of blood across ground. I felt nothing from them but madness. Their only desire was raw animalistic violence. Whatever they were, it wasn't human. They were broken. I could feel my throat clench tightly, and a warm, dark smell brushed against my face. I slowly recognized the coppery tang of blood. An icy bolt of fear ran down my spine, crawling into my limbs and freezing me in place. I was terrified. What was I going to do? What could I do? have to run, Chizuru. I forced my jaw open and drew a ragged breath. This was the only chance I'd get. I had to... My body, still numb with fear, was unresponsive. I lurched sideways against the stacked wood, and with a rough clatter, it collapsed. The creatures turned, coats drenched in blood. Their eyes locked with mine and bore into me. Hideous grins split their inhuman faces, shaking with excitement at prey to slaughter. I had to run. I couldn't die yet, but my legs refused to move. Their hideous cackling laughter echoed. I was going to die. My body was frozen with terror. I couldn't even scream. This was it. This was the end. What? I watched them raise their bloody swords, the moon glinting off the metal. Then there was a flash of light and the soft splash of blood. I could feel it, warm and sticky. Bile began to rise in my throat, but before disgust took hold, I heard a voice. The words suggested disappointment, but the voice sounded happy.
僕一人で始末しちゃうつもりだったのに、はじめくん、こんな時に限って仕事が早いよね。
As he spoke, the strange man smiled, almost as if he were enjoying himself.
俺は務めを果たすべく動いたまでだ。あんたと違って俺に戦闘狂の気はない。
うわ、ひどい言い草だな。まるで僕が戦闘狂みたいだ。
He laughed.
否定はしないのか。
The man called Saito sighed with the air of a long-suffering companion and looked at me.
でもさ、あいつらがこの子を殺しちゃうまで黙って見てれば、僕たちの手間も省けたんじゃないかな。
And yes, indeed, this is Soji.
His tone was light, but it confirmed my fears. I may have escaped the schemes of the Ronin, but I was ensnared by something much darker.
さあな。少なくともその判断は俺たちが下すべきものではない。
Huh? Then, who was in charge of these two? Their conversation had led me to believe they were part of an organization. As I thought about it, I recalled hearing about men with blue coats. My thoughts were interrupted by a dark shape sliding into view. I swallowed hard. The moonlight shone off his smooth, dark hair. For reasons I couldn't fathom, in that moment the light on his hair made me think of the wistfulness of flower petals. It was almost as if the cherry trees were blooming out of season.
運のないやつだ。
His voice was cold and quiet, like a blade of ice. Blue-white moonlight lit his slender face and shone from the blade pointed at my chest. But it wasn't the sword making my breath catch. It was his eyes. They were fierce and hard, but somewhere behind them, I could catch a glimpse of something else. There could be no doubt that he was prepared to kill me, and yet he looked troubled. Not kindness, but perhaps mercy?
いいか、逃げるなよ。背を向ければ切る。
I nodded. There was no doubt he meant every word he said. He stared at me for a moment, then grimaced and put his sword away, sighing. What? I was too surprised to stop myself from speaking, and it quickly became apparent that I wasn't the only one.
あれいいんですか、土方さん。この子、さっきの見ちゃったんですよ。
As he spoke to the man he called Hijikata, his eyes narrowed. The man called Hijikata frowned back at him.
いちいち余計なことを喋るんじゃねえよ。下手な話を聞かせちまうと始末せざるを得なくなるだろうが。
It was clear enough that what I'd seen was something they'd wanted to keep hidden. The more they said, the more I got it, and it was clear none of us wanted such a thing.
この子を生かしておいても厄介なことにしかならないと思いますけどね。
The way he looked at me made me feel as if he'd read my mind.
とにかく殺せばいいってもんじゃねえだろう。こいつの処分は帰ってから決める。
俺は副長の判断に賛成です。ここに長くとどまれば他の者に見つかるかもしれない。
Then he looked down at the creature he'd killed, as though he'd forgotten the whole ordeal.
こうも血に狂うとは、やはり実務に使える代物ではないようです。
頭の痛え話だ。
He peered down at the corpse, his face in a motionless mask. When he looked back up at his companions, however, his eyes narrowed.
つうかお前ら、土方とか副長とか呼んでんじゃねえよ。伏せろ。
The keep a low profile thing seems kind of dumb though, because like they're wearing their Shinsengumi blues. But whatever. And I see Anarisis is a huge fan of Soji, as always.
へえ、伏せるも何もこの大服を着てる時点でバレバレだと思いますけど。
Oh, see? Soji totally called it out.
He was right. Even I had heard stories about a gang of cruel men in blue coats who cut people down in the streets, but I didn't know how to confront the dilemma of pretending I didn't see any of these horrors. My mind swirled through a pool of worries and thoughts, almost as if I was being drawn into their world. A world where there is nothing strange in carrying on a normal conversation in the dead of night, with corpses for company.
死体の処理はいかように、肉体的な異常は特に現れていないようですが。
Hijikata thought for a moment before he spoke.
羽織だけ脱がせとけ。あとは観察の方で何とかする。
承知しました。
新選組の大使が切り殺されてるなんて、僕たちにとっても一大事ですしね。
He gave a derisive bark of laughter.
ま、あとはここにいた奴が黙ってりゃ、世間も勝手に納得してくれるだろうよ。
He looked directly at me, and I got the distinct feeling his words weren't for his companions. It was common for people to be murdered in Kyoto. It was a dangerous city, after all. I knew that, of course. But to see it happen? That was something else entirely. If death was such an easy thing in Kyoto, I thought, then the city itself must surely be mad.
ねえ、ところでさ、助けてあげたのに、お礼の一つもないの？
Huh? I didn't realize right away he was speaking to me. When I did, my eyes went wide. What do you mean, you saved me? Well, he did have a point. Despite their threats, they saved my life. I stood up as steadily as I could manage, brushed some dirt off my clothes, and bowed. Thank you very much. I apologize for not thanking you earlier. There was so much going on, I was a little confused. I glanced up at them tentatively. The man called Hajime also looked confused. His eyes were wide and he had an expression I couldn't place. Hijikata looked as though he'd taken a bite of something sour. I sighed deeply before continuing. I know it seems weird to say that, but he told me I should say thanks, so I looked up. Saito and Hijikata both stared pointedly at anything but me, and the third man was shaking with laughter.
あ、ごめんごめん。そうだよね。僕が言ったんだもんね。
He broke out into laughter again, so much so that he was forced to wipe a few tears from his eyes as he straightened up.
どういたしまして。僕は沖田総司と言います。礼儀正しい子は嫌いじゃないよ。
Thank you for helping me. Not quite sure what else to do. I bowed again.
君を助けてくれたのが斉藤はじめくん。それでこっちの偉そうなのが。
わざわざ紹介してんじゃねえよ。
副長、お気持ちはわかりますが、まず移動を。
Whatever mirth was inspired was gone. The man called Saito now spoke with quiet urgency. The man named Okita grabbed hold of my wrist, smiled, and led us down the street. His grip was a touch too tight to be friendly, his fingers like iron cables around my arm. There was no question about my situation. I quickly picked up on the notion that if I were to run, I would be killed. Instantly. My life was in the hands of these strange men. I set my jaw and stood up as straight as I could. My eyes crept from the blood-stained coat and met Saito's gaze. Greetings, Dragoon Oiwa.
己のために最悪を想定しておけ。刺していいようには転ばない。
His words were like a dagger in my stomach. What was going to happen to me? Was I going to die? As we walked through the bleak Kyoto night, I felt horror crawl its way up my spine once again. The cause of my horror wasn't the gruesome end that awaited me, but something else entirely. I spoke with these men and watched them speak, standing next to a warm corpse soaked in blood. That I had done such a thing terrified me in an altogether different way. Perhaps this is what it's like to go mad.
So that's the prologue. And I know you won't believe me, Anarzis, but I promise that if you actually go down his route, Soji gets much better. But we're not worried about Soji for now. We are gonna save Heisuke. Because we need our cinnamon roll samurai. Narcissus. I mean, in fairness, he's definitely a product of his time. All of them are pretty murder happy. They just don't talk about it the way he does. Shrug. It's fine. I know. I freaking love the art in this game so much. This artist is fantastic. The artist is Yone Kazuki, for the curious. They do really incredible stuff. Except that part they just showed Sanan. Rah! Stupid Sanan. I mean, Sanan's pretty too, but he's also thoroughly creepy. No, we should save, because we don't want to do that again. Boop. Was it morning? What happened to me? I attempted to recollect myself. Yes. Right. All at once, the events of the previous night rushed back to me. This isn't my room. My limbs were snugly bound in tight knots, so all I could do was wriggle around in bed, twisting the blankets around me. I yearned for the comfort of my own futon, but the futility of such thoughts only forced me to confront the reality of my situation. Yeah, for realsies and narcissists, I would never date any of them IRL either, because not into murderers. But anyway, this is fiction. If only I could wake from this strange nightmare. But I could not. Those men from the night before must have taken me with them to the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. What will happen to me now? I inhaled deeply, lying down to await my fate. It was at that moment that the door slid open, and a kind-looking man stepped through.
ああ、目が覚めたかい？すまんな、こんな扱いで。今、縄を緩めるから少し待ってくれ。
His smile quirked as he removed my ropes. My wrists, however, were left bound. And you are?
ああ、そうか。私はね、井上源三郎というんだ。
Thank you, Inoue.
さて、ちょっと来てくれるかい？今朝から幹部連中であんたについて話し合っているんだが、ゆうべあんたが何を見たのか確かめておきたいってことになってね。
Okay. I nodded curtly and struggled to stand, but my body was sore from being bound up all night. Inoue treated me with something like courtesy, but it was clear that I was in a lesser position. He must have been able to guess my thoughts, however, because he smiled at me and winked.
心配しなくても大丈夫さ。 なりは怖いが気のいい者たちばかりだよ。
Oh. Even at home, I heard rumors of the vicious Shinsengumi that were unflattering. It was hard to imagine that the people in charge of such an organization were gentlemen.
一番年の若い東堂君は君よりちょっと年上くらいだよ。
See, it was meant to be. They're close in age. OTP. OTP. Sorry.
それに長倉君と原田君という賑やかな二人組もいるから大丈夫。
Despite Inoue's reassurances, it was difficult for me to trust what I was hearing as accurate. Excuse me. Inoue led me to a room and opened the door. I stepped inside and found myself surrounded by the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Their eyes dug into me like sharp knives. I stared before me and then gulped nervously.
おはよう。昨日はよく眠れた？
Well, it wasn't particularly comfortable.
ふん、そうなんだ。さっき僕が声をかけた時には君全然起きてくれなかったよね。幸せそうな寝顔でぐっすりだったみたいだけど。
What?
からかわれているだけだ。掃除はあんたの部屋になど行ってない。
Quite silent, I stared at Okita. With his grin still spread along his face, he glanced over to Saito.
もう少しこの子の反応を見たかったんだけどな。はじめくんもひどいよね。勝手にバラすなんてさ。
I don't think Saito did anything wrong. You, on the other hand.
おいてめえら、無駄口ばっか叩いてんじゃねえ。
Hijikata's voice brooked no further insubordination. Okita shrugged and fell silent, but the smile lingered through his bright eyes.
でさ、土方さん、そいつが目撃者。
It's our boy!
Thanks for the clip, Narcissus. Hey, look! It's the bro squad!
The man who spoke was... well, he looked more like a boy than a man. Maybe this is the youthful Shinsengumi captain that Inoue was describing to me.
And also our future boyfriend!
I'd imagine the leaders of the Shinsengumi to be older, maybe even middle-aged men, but their faces were still blessed with youth.
Okay, future husband. This is our husband right here.
In fact, one might even confuse them at first glance for a gang of bohemian thugs.
ちっちゃいし細っこいな。まだガキだろこいつ。
お前がガキとか言うなよ、平助。
だな。世間様から見りゃ平助もこいつも似たようなもんだろうよ。
ガキ扱いしていいのは俺みたいな立派な大人になってからだぜ。
Yeah, that like one close-up, I know they were trying to get Heisuke's face, but we definitely didn't get Heisuke's face.
立派な大人って。まあ、チンパチが言っても説得力も何もねえがな。
I love these bros and their bullshit banter.
Two nearby men replied to Todo with very mocking but light-hearted tones. I somewhat recalled Inoue's description of the two energetic members. His mention of them was brief, but seeing them in person was an eye-opening experience. He said that the short-haired one was Nagakura, and the other, with longer hair, was Harada.
うるさいな。おじさん二人は黙ってなよ。
ふざけんなよこのお坊ちゃまが。俺らにそんな口聞いていいと思ってんのか？
平助におじさん呼ばわりされるほど年は食ってねえよ。新八はともかく俺はな。
てめえ裏切るのか佐野。
へへ、新八さん図星されて怒るって大人げねえよな。
Their back and forth rapport seemed developed into a rhythm from years of friendship, which predated my arrival and made me foreign here. I sensed something apart from curiosity towards me, though, like a feeling of animosity. Despite their cheerful levity, they had not forgiven my presence among them. Suddenly, I wanted very much to go home. I wanted to leave this place and never return. My chest tightened and I stared down, hoping to wake up in bed with all of this only a memory.
口さがない方ばかりで申し訳ありません。あまり怖がらないでくださいね。
Oh hey, it's Sanan before he turned into a creep fest. Lest we forgot, he did used to be kind of a nice dude.
Oh. His voice was calm and warm, and I felt myself relax, even if only a little bit.
何言ってんだ。一番怖いのはあんただろう、三男さん。
As he finished speaking, the rest of the men nodded solemnly in agreement.
Hello, rude!
I wondered, who could possibly command such fear and respect from these men?
おや、心外ですね。皆さんはともかく鬼の副長まで何をおっしゃるんです？私はいつだって新選組の規範を第一に考えているだけですよ。その規範、ご法度を決めたのは土方君、君じゃなかったですか？
確かに決めたのは俺だ。だが、今はそんなことを言ってる時じゃねえだろうが。
Then the men called Sannan and Hijikata stared at one another with a smirk.
トシと三男君は相変わらず仲が良いな。
Yay! Samurai Dad! Thank God!
Hijikata and Sannan sounded distant when they spoke to one another. Not exactly friendly. Still, the man who spoke had certainly sounded as though he thought they were friends.
ああ、自己紹介が遅れたな。俺が新選組局長、近藤勇だ。
近藤さん、やったー!
When you say chief, do you mean to say you're the most important man in the Shinsengumi?
いや、まあ、俺が偉いわけじゃない。皆の代表ということだよ。それから、そこの都市が副長で、横にいる三男君は総長を務めていて。
いや、近藤さん、なんでいろいろ教えてやってんだよ、あんたは。
まずいのか？
I love Kondo so much.
情報を与える必要がないんだったら黙ってる方が得策なんじゃないですかね。
わざわざ教えてやる義理はないと思うけど。
確かにそうなんだが、紹介しないことには話が進まんだろう。
Kondo is like so concerned. He's like, but guest, we should be polite. And they're like, but prisoner, maybe don't.
Harada glanced over at Kondo and let out a bark of laughter.
ま、ここまで来たら知られて困ることもねえけどな。
Kondo had looked rather disappointed when Hijikata spoke, but he perked up at Harada's words. Despite knowing him for 5 minutes, it's easy to see that his words resonated well with his men. He had a sort of charisma that simply drew you in. A man who was impossible to hate.
さて、本題に入ろう。まずは改めて昨晩の話を聞かせてくれるか。
はい。昨晩京の都を夜間巡察中に不老の老師と遭遇。相手が刀を抜いたため切り合いとなりました。一部の大使らが老師を無力化しましたが、その折彼らが失敗した様子をこの者に目撃されています。
As he finished, Saito turned to look at me.
Yeah, he's such a puppy, being sad then cheering up when one person says something good. I know, it's so sweet.
I didn't see anything. Even with my insistence, Hijikata continued to stare at me with a harsh glance. Saito remained expressionless, and the smile on Okita's face didn't change.
なあ、お前本当に何も見てないのか?
Whew, Bro Squad actually kind of looks scary at the moment.
Yes, I didn't see anything.
見てないんならいいんだけどさ。
あれ、掃除の話じゃお前が大使どもを助けてくれたって話だったが。
No, that's not true. I glanced over at Okita, but his smile remained. Whatever he was thinking was a mystery to me. I was running away from the Ronin. Then some people with Shinsengumi uniforms appeared. Really, they sort of rescued me.
つまり、大使どもが老師を切り殺してる場面はしっかり見たってわけだな。
I couldn't exactly deny that. However, I knew that choosing to stay silent would implicate me deeper than lying would.
つまり最初から最後まで一部始終を見てたってことか。お前、根が素直なんだろうな。それ自体は悪いことじゃないんだろうが。
I wasn't sure what to make of Harada's words. My presence seemed bad for the Shinsengumi. Would their next words be ones condemning me to death for being at the wrong place and time? My voice shook, but I knew I had to try. I won't tell anyone. I promise.
偶然老師に絡まれていたという君が私たちに敵対するものとまでは言いませんが、君に言うつもりがなくとも相手の誘導尋問に乗せられる可能性はある。
His voice was still warm, but his words were cold, and I began to feel my chances at life slip away.
話さないというのは簡単だが、この者が新選組に義理立てする理由もない。
約束を破らない保証なんてないですし、やっぱり解放するのは難しいですよね。ほら、殺しちゃいましょうよ。口封じするならそれが一番じゃないですか。
But
掃除、物騒なことを言うな。お上の民をむやみに殺して何とする。
そんな顔しないでくださいよ。今のはただの冗談ですから。
あんたは冗談に聞こえる冗談を言え。
after being rebuked by Saito, Okita gave a playful smile.
しかし、なんとかならんのかね。まだこんな子供だろう。
私も何とかしてあげたいとは思いますが、 うっかり漏らされでもしたら一大事です。さて、私は副長のご意見を伺いたいのですが、いかがですか、土方副長。
The men looked to Hijikata, listening intently. He sighed and glanced around the room.
俺たちは昨晩指導に背いた大使を粛清した。こいつはその現場に居合わせた。
それだけだとおっしゃりたいんですか？
実際このガキの認識なんざその程度のもんだとは思うんだが。
けどよ、こればっかりは大義のためにも内密にしなきゃなんねえことだよな。新選組の大使は血に狂ってるなんて噂が立ちゃ、俺らのタイムにだって支障が出るぜ。
Shinpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikata's face looked grim.
おい、言葉を慎め。俺は指導に背いた大使を粛清したと言ったはずだぞ。
でもまあ、どっちみち見たことは変わらないんですけどね。
総司の意見にも一理あると思うが、まあ、俺は土方さんや近藤さんの決定に従う。
俺は逃がしてやってもいいと思う。こいつは別にあいつらが血に狂った理由を知っちまったわけでもないんだしさ。
What do you mean, everything? I couldn't help but wonder aloud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence.
ヘイスケ、余計な情報をくれてやるな。
Yeah, it's often easy to forget that Shinpachi's like hecka smart. Or at least smarter than he comes off as initially.
悪い。
ああ、これでますます君の無罪放免が難しくなっちゃったね。
男子たるもの死ぬ覚悟くらいできてんだろ。お前も諦めて腹くくっちまいな。
A man? That's right. They still believed me to be a boy. With everything else that had happened, I'd completely forgotten how I was dressed.
確かに潔く死ぬのも男の道だな。俺も若い頃は切腹したし。
佐野の場合、まだ生きてるけどな。
Their jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous laughter.
副長、結論も出ないことですし、一旦このものを部屋に戻してはどうでしょうか。同席させた状態で誰かが機密を漏らせば、処分も何も殺すほかなくなります。
He was right. If I remained with them, then I could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he'd mentioned it for my sake, but rather as a possible concern for their group. I was still relieved when he'd brought it up.
そういうことにするか。ちょっと調べたいこともあるしな。
私もその判断には賛成しますよ。ここには迂闊な方も多いですしね。
三男さん、わざわざこっち見て言うとかきついよ。
まあ仕方ねえよ。迂闊なのは俺らの担当だろう。主に平助とかな。
そんな責めるなよ。俺だって悪気はなかったんだからさ。
I could hear Toldo's voice rise as everyone turned to look at him. He looked at them for a bit, then turned to me and mumbled in a voice I could barely hear.
あのさ、悪かったな。
Oh, Heisuke, it's okay, baby.
I was still apprehensive about what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. But he seemed to understand, and I curtly managed to nod. It was the most I could manage.
それじゃ斉藤、こいつを頼む。
承知しました。 行くぞ。
All right.
Yes, Rude. The heroine of this game dresses like a boy to basically safely travel by herself, and that worked for about 5 minutes into the story. We witnessed the wrong murder. And now here we are. We should save. Feel like it's been a while. Well, in fairness, before the story, she traveled like all the way to Kyoto entirely by herself and was okay. So. Okay.
After returning to my room, I'd spent some time reflecting upon my state and my still bound hands. The rumors spoke of the Shinsengumi as vicious men, but they seemed more intimate, human to me. Still, their presence, or their being, lingered through me as if to say, we're not killers, but to protect our code, we must bring death. Remaining here is only bringing me closer to the possibility of them killing me. I don't know if I can convince them to spare me. Just as I have no loyalty to them, they have no loyalty to me. Only the Shinsengumi. But then, they mentioned a man must always be ready to face death. So are they still mistaking me for a man? Could I possibly risk exposing my true identity in exchange for mercy on my life? But this could just as easily backfire for me, and it could exact an even worse fate. I was truly at a loss for what to do.
Okay, now we're following the walkthrough, so sorry, chat, I'm not going to ask you to help me make decisions. Just trust in what I do.
I would tell them the truth. Perhaps if I did, they'd understand my dilemma. Perhaps they think I'm from Kyoto as well. If I told them I'd only just arrived in Kyoto, they might lower their guard, or so I hoped. I didn't know anyone in Kyoto, and I'd only come to look for my father. I haven't even told them I'm a girl. The rest perhaps could wait, but I felt that it might be wise to tell them I was a girl. I took a deep breath and screamed loudly. "Excuse me! Is anyone there?" After a few moments, the door slid open, and several faces appeared around the edges.
大胆だなお前さん。囚われの身分で俺らを呼びつけるなんてよ。で、自分から声をかけてくるなんざ、そろそろ腹も決まったのか。
No, that's not it. I want you to hear me out.
おそらくあんたの事情は汲めないだろう。それでよければ話すといい。
お前の運のなさには同情する。まあ、成仏してくれない。
ほら、男なら諦めが肝心だろ。
They all spoke as if they'd already consigned me to death. It was time to make my choice. I decided to tell them I wasn't a boy. As Saito turned to go, I rounded on Todo to glare at him furiously.
Oh, that was my water bottle. Sorry.
Earlier you said a man should know when to accept his fate. You don't think there's anything wrong with killing a man before hearing him out?
お前さ、口の利き方に気をつけろよ。自分がどんな立場かわからないわけ。そっちこそ男らしい態度取れば、俺らの事情を素直に受け入れればいいだろう。
But I'm not a man.
We're just gonna sit here and enjoy that face for a moment while I take a drink of water.
もしかしてさ、女とか。
Yes.
ちょっと待てって。
それは
ま、確かにそんな感じだな。体の線が女性的で柔らかいというか。
そんなもんわかるか。普通女は袴なんて履かねえだろうが。
女子でもなぎなたや馬術の際に袴は用いるぞ。
Saito coming in with the logic.
この者のように旅姿に男装をするのは珍しいが、身を守る処世術と言えなくもない。
なるほど、そういうこともあるかもな。いろいろ言って悪かった。
Well, I am glad that was cleared up.
ああ、あんたの言う通り、せめて事情くらいは聞いてやるべきだろうな。
Yeah, Harada's like, oh yeah, I thought there was something kind of feminine about you, so you know. And Shinpachi is just still completely losing his shit.
Judging by the calmness in Saito's demeanor, it seemed he was unsurprised by my attempt to dress like a boy. There I was, surrounded once again by the leaders of the Shinsengumi.
少年にしては華奢で可愛らしい顔をしていると思っていたんだが、まさか本当に女子だったとはな。
Kondo was nodding his head repeatedly, as if he were agreeing with a very intelligent suggestion. For him to notice the softness of my features, it flattered me a bit.
ああ、女だって聞いてから見ると女にしか見えなくなってくるんだよな。
しかし女の子を一晩縄で縛っておくとは悪いことをしたね。
Yeah, Kondo is totally a dork. It's great.
でもよ、女だって言うが別に証拠はないんだろ。
Meanwhile, Shin is trying to save face in a completely different way.
Proof?
証拠も何も一目瞭然だろうが。なんなら脱がせてみるか。
許さんぞ。衆目の中、女子に肌をさらさせるなど言語道断。
だがな、それが一番手っ取り早いと思ったんだ。無理にとは言わないがな。
でもよ、本当に女だって言うなら殺しちまうのも忍びねえよな。
何甘いこと言ってるんだ。男だろうが女だろうが性別の違いは生かす理由にならねえだろう。
もっともです。ですが、女性に限らず、そもそも人を殺すのは忍びないことですよ。
Can we just keep sun on like this?
Yeah, meanwhile, Hijikata's just like, fuck, if she's gotta, if they have to die, they have to die. Whatever.
今日の治安を守るために組織された私たちが無益な殺生をするわけにはいきません。
結局女の子だろうが男の子だろうが 今日の平安を乱しかねないなら話は別ですよね。
The Shinsengumi had already suffered a very gruesome reputation in Kyoto.
Ah, Anarsis, you noticed that. Interesting. Well, the ones we've seen so far.
If rumors spread that their men were thirsty for blood, things weren't likely to go well for them. Kyoto would banish them, and with no one to protect the people, the city would erupt into chaos. Each of their members deeply understood the consequences of behaving rashly in these times.
悪いが、お前の荷物を改めさせてもらったぜ。
I'm not gonna say anything, Grim. I'm not gonna spoil it.
どうやら江戸からここまで一人で来たみてえだな。荷物はわずかな着替えと一月分の小銭、それと数通の手紙とこの子たち。
I mean, you do kind of know what you're in for with this game at some point. The Fury thing is a big deal, so.
手紙には幕府御殿医の松本良順の名前があった。おそらくそこを訪ねたんだろう。お前の目的は何だ？
The minute my name was spoken, the vibe in the room shifted immensely. Everyone wore a stunned expression, eyes wide, and no words were uttered in response until...
土方さん、その名前は？
おいおい、偶然にしちゃって行き過ぎだぜ。
まあ待て。それを判断するためにもまずは君の話を聞かせてくれるかな。
At Kondo's behest, I stood up to speak. My name is Chizuru Yukimura. Under the watchful eyes of the leaders, I sharply described how I came to face them. How I lived in Edo. How I'd come to Kyoto to find my father. How lonely the city felt before I arrived.
そうか。出身も江戸だったのだな。父上を探して遠路はるばる京に来たのか。
Casual note, the voice actor for Kondo is the same voice actor who plays Colonel Mustang in the Japanese of Full Metal Alchemist.
して、お父上は何という方かね。
My father is Kodo Yukimura.
つながったな。
What are you talking about?
あなたが持っていた手紙の筆跡。これはまさに光道さんのものでしたが、まさか本当に光道さんのご息女とはね。
You know my father? The silence was enough to tell me that the revelation of my parentage caused a pronounced change in their behavior.
どこまで知ってる？
Huh? What information are you talking about?
いいから洗いざらい全部吐け！何しに今日に来やがった？
I just came looking for my father. I swear I don't know anything else.
親父の光道さんが何をしてるか知っててここに来たんだろうが。
I was only aware of my father being in Kyoto for his medical work, but I haven't seen him since last summer. That's all I know.
土方君、どうやら本当に何も知らないのかもしれませんよ。
So what do you know about my father? Where is he right now? Please tell me.
光道さんの行方は現在新選組でも探している。
You're after my father? So this means...
あ、勘違いしないでね。僕たちはコードーさんを狙ってるわけじゃないから。
I see. A huge wave of relief came over me.
同じ幕府側の協力者なんだけど、実は彼、夏から行方知れずなんだよね。
幕府をよく思わない者たちがコードーさんに目をつけた可能性が高い。
I let out an audible gasp, but Saito continued without paying me any mind.
生きている降参も高い。乱方医は利用価値がある存在だ。
I wasn't sure what else to do, so I nodded. My heart pounded in my chest, threatening to burst onto the floor.
近藤さん、どうでしょうか。同じ人物を探す者同士、彼女に手を貸してあげてはいかがかと。
手を貸すとはどういうことかね。
コードーさんが見つかるまで互いに協力し合うということです。彼女に協力してもらうことでコードーさんが見つかる可能性は格段に上昇するでしょう。
Huh?
私たちがいくら探しても姿形を変えられてしまっては見抜くことは難しい。ですがコードーさんの娘である君ならば身なりが変わっていようと看破できますね。
Yes, of course. I nodded as I spoke, while giving him what I hoped seemed like a steady, reassuring smile.
それに彼女が手中にあるというのは何かと都合がいいと思います。
どうだトシ。三男君の意見に俺は賛成だな。
こいつが本当に何も知らねえって言うんなら。
It's true. All I know is that my father headed to Kyoto, but I don't know anything else. And about last night, I didn't see anything.
まあ、あの乱暴医の娘となりゃ殺しちまうわけにもいかねえか。
His eyes narrowed as he looked down at me.
昨べの件は忘れるって言うんなら、父親が見つかるまでお前を保護してやる。
君の父上を見つけるためならば、我ら新選組は協力は惜しまんとも。
I like the difference between the sentiment here.
Thank you so much. I'd never imagined something like this. I was elated to have escaped death, but not only had I survived, but I'd found my first decent lead.
殺されずに済んでよかったね。とりあえずはだけど。
Soji, please.
He gave me that same wolfish grin. There was no denying that my situation was still less than desirable, but it didn't matter for now. Yes, I'm very glad. Against all odds, at last, I'd found help where I never expected it. The Shinsengumi. My first day in Kyoto was quite the adventure. In spite of everything I'd seen, my fortune was improving with every step. I still had a long way.
Yes, Inara says that is actually correct. Thank you for your input, Mr. Murderkill. Yeah.
I had a long way to go, but keeping positive was my only hope.
雪村君、よかったね。これからはよろしく頼むよ。
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure for me as well.
なあ、ゲンさん。女子となれば、ここのような男女体では申し訳ない気がするんだが。
Well, you can tell which of the guys is not a bachelor.
ええ、そうですね。 これはちょっと困りましたな。
Kondo crossed his arms and thought deeply.
不便があれば言うといい。その都度可能な範囲で対処しよう。
Thank you.
まあ女の子となりゃ手厚くもてなさんといかんよな。
新八さん女の子に弱いもんな。でもだからって手のひら返すの早すぎ。
いいじゃねえか。これで豚書が華やかになると思えば新八に限らずはしゃぎたくもなるだろう。
I wasn't entirely sure I believed that sentiment.
There's not actually an old man ending in this one, Rude. None of the options really fit into that trope.
とはいえ、ここでは女性として扱うのは難しそうです。大使として扱うのもまた問題ですし、彼女の処遇は少し考えなければなりませんね。
なら誰かの交渉にすりゃいいだろう。近藤さんとか三男さんとか。
やだな土方さん。そういう時は言い出しっぺが責任取らなくちゃ。
ああ、そうだな。都市のそばなら安心だ。
そういうことで土方君、彼女のことよろしくお願いしますね。
I like how they basically just all nominated Hijikata to be the person she's the page for. And he's super not okay with it.
てめえら、勝手に決めてるんじゃねえ。
As I watched their back and forth, some of my earlier relief began to ebb away. And this is how the Shinsengumi had come to look after me.
Alright, we're gonna save. How are we doing? Do we need a break? I should probably get some tea in a few minutes here. But we can probably swing one more scene. And then take a little break. Keep going? Alright. Yeah, he looked ready to flip the whole damn place. You are not wrong, Rude.
Mid-February, 1864. I slid the door open and met a breath of cool morning air. Clumps of thick clouds trundled silently over the city, an unusually strong wind driving them along. It's cold today. I shivered a bit and grabbed a jacket from near the door to wrap myself. A week had passed since I'd begun living in the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. I was given a room of my own, but they made it clear that I wasn't to roam freely. They weren't the best of accommodations, but given how close I was to being murdered by them instead, I thought it best not to complain. Still, do I really need to dress like this all the time? I sighed, staring at my feet on the cold floor. They'd given me temporary accommodations, but it wasn't without its strict conditions.
お前の身柄は新選組預かりとする。が、女として豚書へ置くわけにはいかねえ。新選組にかくまわれている女がいる。そんな話が万一にも広まれば、よくねえ勘繰りをする奴も出てくる。それに、 噂を聞いて行動さんを狙っている奴らがお前まで狙い出すかもしれねえ。もちろん行動さんが狙われていると確定したわけじゃねえがな。こういう不確定要素が多い現状で迂闊な行動は取れねえってことだ。だからお前には断層を続けてもらう。面倒だろうがそれでいい。
Clear. His reasoning was sound. Perhaps more than that, I knew he was concerned not only for the Shinsengumi, but also for the safety of my father and myself. I didn't have a choice regardless, but keeping this in mind made his orders more palatable.
それに、たとえ君にその気がなくとも、女性の存在は体内の風紀を乱しかねない。ですから私たち幹部のほか、大使たちへも君の事情は話しません。情報はそれこそどこから広まるかわかりませんからね。
I understand the situation. So, what should I do while I'm here?
Hi, Danny!
豚書じゃ何もしなくていい。部屋を一つやるから引きこもってろ。
Hijikata, why?
あれおかしいな。この子、誰かさんの故障になるんじゃなかったですか？
いいか、掃除。てめえは余計な口出しせずに黙ってろ。
Before long, I'd been there for a week. I guess I don't have much of a choice. No sense in dwelling on what I can't do, after all. Although it was still a new sensation, I'd grown comfortable in dressing like a boy, particularly the feeling of wearing pants. I straightened up and touched the kodachi that Hijikata had given back to me. This was a familiar friend of mine, the blade by my hip stretching back to as far as I can recall. According to my father, this was an important heirloom passed down through the Yukimura clan.
We're not super far in. We just, witnessed the scary murder, confessed to the Shinsengumi that, hey, we're not actually a dude, we're a lady, and have been given accommodations. We're still in chapter 1, basically.
As such, I was forced to take lessons in swordplay, making me well aware of what the blade was capable of. I had never cared much for weapons. Weapons hurt people, which is an obvious factor, but it was more than that, at least for me.
Hey, Druid Hero! Welcome!
For as far back as I could remember, any wounds I suffered healed at an incredible rate. Small cuts would disappear overnight. As a child, I thought nothing of it, but as I grew older, I began to realize that I was not quite normal. My father insisted it was a gift of the gods, but that I should tell no one of it. I didn't tell anyone, of course. I was afraid they would treat me like a monster if they knew. Ever since then, I'd done my best not to get hurt. I stayed as far away from blades as I could, and before I realized it, I'd developed a fear of them. My constant need for disguise was frustrating, but my condition left me more unsettled. Still, that wasn't the only thing on my mind. The rank and file soldiers treated me coldly. I'm not just imagining it, right? I learned having a private room was a privilege, even for captains. For a child to arrive and receive better treatment than their own captains. No surprise, really, for the soldiers to hate me. True. I suppose I can't really blame them. I was enjoying the Shinsegumi's hospitality, and so I felt I should help them in some way, but I knew nothing of soldiers and their ways. I gave as much effort as possible, despite Hijikata's commands for me to remain in my room. How does one calm the lonely, restless mind? I think for the soldiers, whenever the captains or other officers would look out for me, it appeared as if they were giving me special treatment. They're just watching me. To make sure I kept my mouth shut, they took turns keeping watch over me. Any mistake on my part would cause huge trouble, so they were making an effort to keep me contained. Even if I could speak with the soldiers, what conversations could we share? Nothing? My only respite from any possibility of detection would be to stay alone. Again. All I wanted from this, though, was to find my father. Even though they'd promised to help me, keeping me locked here without the ability to leave was no better than being tied up. Just like when it felt I'd made some progress into my journey, my search was kept to a halt.
You're not wrong, Danny.
Perhaps, I thought, I could talk to Hijikata. If he would give me permission to look for my father. Oh no, that's right. Hijikata just recently departed to Osaka. Well, if Hijikata's not here, I wasn't sure what to do.
We made a lot of good Heisuke leaning decisions in the very beginning, and then somewhere in the middle we must have gone astray. So, we're going to search the compound, because that's what we're supposed to do. God damn it.
As I thought about it, I realized that I had no idea how the Shinsengumi compound was laid out. If I were to live here, I thought, then I ought to make an effort to learn.
No joke. I'm like dying every time I see chorizo in the chat. Chizuru, chorizo, close enough, right? I'm trying to do a serious playthrough here, so I'm definitely never changing her name to Chorizo. Although it's tempting.
I took a deep breath, gathered my courage, and stepped out of the room. There's no one here. I looked around. The hall was utterly empty. And again, since I'd snuck out of my room, it was probably for the best that no one had seen me. Still, I felt a little guilty about it. Perhaps I should have just stayed in my room. If I wandered around the compound, it was likely I'd see something I wasn't supposed to. I'd already stumbled onto one of the Shinsengumi secrets the night I met them. I had no wish to do so again. Thank you for the host, Danny. Maybe I should reconsider. After some deliberation, I decided it was best to return to my room. But as I turned to walk back... Huh? From near the entrance, I heard something. Slowly, I peeked around the corner.
Oh no, it's the bro squad!
Walking toward the door, looking as if they would prefer not to be seen, were Harada and Nagakura.
Emphasis. Derf. Japanese is weird, everybody. In the best way.
Oh. Can I come with you? Maybe if they let me go outside, I could finally start looking for my father.
そりゃ別に構わねえが、お前は楽しくないんじゃねえかな。
連れて行けるかバカ。勝手に許可してんじゃねえよ。
Yeah, the way I usually say it is also the correct way. It's Nagakura, not Nagakura. That's very American. Danny, what? You've got lady parts? Oh, Shinpachi, you poor, poor man.
ああ、外出禁止なんだっけな、お前。それより見張りなしで部屋から出てていいのか？
Oh, as for the year, it's 1864. But hey!
Well, where are you going anyway?
おいおい、ごまかすなよ。まあ、いいけどな。俺らはこれから島原に行くとこだ。
Shimabara.
How did I memorize? What? It tells you like at the beginning of every like section of the chapters.
The name was familiar. Wait, isn't that in the red light district? Nagakura shook his head between us and sighed.
女の子に向かって島原に行くとかわざわざ本当のこと言うなよ。
嘘つけねえんだよ俺。知ってんだろ。考えに繰り出すくらい別にやましくもねえし。
お前は酒が目当てだろうから後ろめたくもなんともねえだろうよ。
Nagakura, are you going for something other than the alcohol?
いや、酒っていうかなんていうか、ほら、お酒って言うだろ。
True, there was likely no shortage of beautiful women throughout Shimabara. Someone like Hanada who visited just for the drinks was a rarity if I were to guess. But you're going in the afternoon?
真っ昼間から酒飲むのも男のロマンってやつなんじゃねえの？
Harada held a natural charm that seemed to shrug off any judgment over possible impropriety. Well, even so, I hardly think it's good to be drinking in the afternoon. Even if it was every man's dream, it didn't feel right to condone it.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, don't judge. They just want to go pub crawling, man. Is that so wrong?
Two captains drinking during the afternoon would hardly help the Shinsengumi's low public opinion. Then again, perhaps it wasn't my business to think of the Shinsengumi's public reputation.
昼から遊び歩くのはあんまり常識的じゃないってお前の言うこともわかるんだけどよ。
Yes.
近頃の今日は何かと物騒なんだ。俺たち新選組だってうかつに夜遊びできね
え。You guys, he's crying. Look at the tears in his eyes.
True.
だから常識に縛られず行きたい時に行く。 真っ昼間から遊びに行くことを迷わねえ。
Rude, I don't think we're stopping him either way.
That didn't really seem right. But even so, on some level, his absurd logic made some sense. After all, everyone needs to relax from time to time, especially if they have the worries of the Shinsengumi. And if they worked at night, then when else would they go but the afternoon? I was reflecting upon this when Todo walked in.
あれまさかお前も行くの
Well, I still haven't received permission to leave the house. I don't want Hijikata to get mad at me.
そっか。そいつは残念だな。
You're going to Shimabara too then, Todo?
ああ、そうだけど。で、東堂さんとか他人行儀な呼び方やめようぜ。
Well, what should I call you then?
平助でいいよ。みんなも俺のことを平助って呼ぶし、これからしばらく一緒に暮らすんだしよ。
Darn right we are, boy.
それに、そのデスマスもやめようぜ。年も近いからもっと気楽に話してくれよ。
Heisuke-kun! Really? I just didn't want to be rude, Todo.
ほら、治ってないぜ。
Alright then. Heisuke.
そうそう。んじゃ、今日から改めてよろしくな。
Look at this precious baby!
Okay. It's a pleasure to meet you too, Heisuke. It wasn't anything important, I knew. But something about the exchange made me feel happy. Heisuke had, perhaps unknowingly, cheered me up. But you're still going to Shimabara then?
そりゃその。でも島原だから女ってわけじゃねえよ。みんなで酒飲んでバカ騒ぎしたい気分なんだ。
See, look at this sweetheart. He's like trying to be all considerate and not make us feel bad.
Oh.
お前が女の格好をしてくれるんなら、それだけで十分に目の保養なんだけどな。
Whoa there, Harada.
What?
あ、俺も絶対可愛いと思う。いろいろ落ち着いたら振袖とか着てみせてくれよな。
Oh. Then Heisuke goes and makes it cute.
You guys, this is just so sudden. It was embarrassing for them to treat me like a girl all of a sudden, as if it just occurred to them. Dress like a girl? What should I tell them? When I get the chance someday. Sound good?
Honto ka? やったぜ。約束だぞ。忘れんなよ。
Oh man.
Okay. I didn't need Heisuke's advice on how I should dress, considering it was something I looked forward to once I got the opportunity. So why did I feel so embarrassed? Once we settled the topic of the appropriateness of my wardrobe, Nagakura shared his opinion.
そういうわけでさしてくれよ。 俺らは汗水垂らして今日の治安を守ってんだぜ。
That's not a very convincing excuse. Despite my reservations, I understood the truth. They were partaking in normal activities for men. Besides, who was I to try and stop them in the first place? I certainly had no authority over them. While visiting pleasure quarters in broad daylight wasn't my thing, if their superiors took no issue... I was a guest of the Shinsengumi, and it would be rude for me to try and tell them what to do. But even so, they went out of their way to talk to me until I felt better about the situation. This showed they were good men, with nothing to hide. All right. I suppose their reasoning made sense to me, and part of me was just envious of them. I too wanted to be free of the staleness in this compound, and search for my father.
土産買ってきてやる。何か食べたいものあるか?
Even though I was still turning the issue at hand in my head, the thought of food made me salivate. All right then. I'd like some tangerines. Maybe we can eat them together tomorrow afternoon?
I know, the phrasing of, like, Chizuru being like, I'm kind of jealous of them, I also want the same thing, and then you get to the beat about her father, makes it seem really weird. She's like, oh man, I want to go drinking too in the red light district. That sounds like fun. Dang, Chizuru, what do you get up to when your dad's not around?
そいつはいいな。わかったぜ。
土方さんから外出許可が下りたらさ、お前の好きなとこ連れてってやるから。
Well, thank you. But Heisuke, you don't need to worry, alright? Even if you couldn't take me out now, it's the thought that counts. Thanks for cheering me up.
悪いな。ちゃっくら出かけてくるぜ。
Just as I waved to send those three off.
おや、これからみんなで出かけるのかい?
Oops.
All of us nonchalantly turned our heads around to see Inoue pacing toward us.
よりによって源さんかよ。
おっと、こいつは参ったな。
They all refused to make eye contact and fell silent, so I responded to Inoue in their stead. Well, I'm not going anywhere, but, I had no idea what else to say. Were they expecting me to cover for them?
ほら、あれだよ、源さん、あれ。みんなで素振りでもしようかなって。
Heisuke quickly warmed to his excuse, as did Nagakura.
そう、それだ、平介。よく言った。今日は天気もいいし、風が暖かいからな。
Yes, what they said. After hearing their excuse, Inoue reacted.
いやはや、長倉君たちは熱心だな。せっかくの機会だ。私も付き合わせてくれるかい?
He looked honestly happy, pleased with the dedication of his fellows.
それは。
そうきたか。
Yeah, worst timeline.
Seeing as they were hopeless in getting themselves out of this, I decided to lend a hand. You guys are really going to train? Just then, Heisuke opened his mouth.
あ、ごめん。俺もみんなと素振りしたいけど、今日は先約があるから付き合えないんだった。
Plans?
こいつに豚書の中を案内してやるって約束。 そうだったよな。
It was news to me.
なあ、頼む。話を合わせてくれ。
Oh my god, look at the little tears. Our sweet baby boy. The puppy face.
He gave me a desperate, somber look with eyes like a sad puppy. I had no choice but to go along. Yes, that's right. Yes.
ああ、そうそう、そうだよな。
His eyes sparkled and he grabbed a hold of my hand and began to walk off. Heisuke had cheered me up earlier, after all. Perhaps in this way I was returning the favor.
待て、ヘイスケ。一人だけ逃げようなんざ。
Before he could even finish, Harada interrupted, a mischievous grin appearing on his face.
俺も付き合ってやるよ。他の大使に絡まれちゃ面倒だろ。
Well, I suppose you have a point.
そうかそうか。原田君の言うことはもっともだね。彼女のことは二人にお任せするとして。じゃあ長倉君、我々は中庭に行こうか。
ヘイスケのみならず、お前もか佐野。
Correction. That piano belongs to Shinpachi.
His knuckles turned white and his face shook with exasperation.
よし、逃げぞ。
What?
新坊さんすぐ怒るからな。
Heisuke grabbed my hand and Harada pushed me from behind, and soon we were moving away from the entrance at a rapid clip.
この裏切り者、戻ってこい。
Nagakura's shouts were echoing, but the laughter of the two men caused their eyes to sparkle in kind. It was infectious, and I couldn't help but laugh with them, my worries gradually drifting from me. After the commotion settled, Heisuke and Harada gave me a tour around the headquarters. Nagakura, alternatively, had none such luck. I heard later that he and Inoue spent the rest of the day training, just the two of them. At the end of the day, I think he's a good man.
Alright, let's save. And I'm gonna go refill my drinks because I'm basically out. And we will continue the shenanigans. So, give me about 10 minutes, y'all. Hey friends, I'm back. Thank you, thank you. Refreshed my water. I got some matcha green tea, which is decidedly appropriate. I can't drink it yet or I will burn the inside of my mouth beyond all recognition. Thanks, Druid Hero! Yeah, matcha green tea is amazing. I want to get an actual, like, Japanese tea set for mixing matcha properly. This is just stuff in tea bags. It's not as good as, like, the real shit, but it's decent. It does in a pinch. Thank you, Rude. I will pass on that, however. All right, let's get back at it. Here we are again. So, I can say a little experiment that I was conducting tonight has gone off quite nicely. The remote control feature on the Streamlabs OBS phone app works quite nicely. I've been controlling my swapping between the overlays and scenes with it, which is pretty cool. Aww. Unsweetened chocolate is gross. I'm sorry, dude. I know I need something sweet, but we have no sweets in the house, which is my own damn fault because I keep trying not to put any in there so I can back off the sugar. Just like I'm trying to completely back off of dairy, which makes me very sad indeed because I really like cheese. All right. I think I saved before I left, but let's just do it again anyway, just to be safe.
Time stood still, shadows drifting along my wall. How long am I going to do this? Solitude was proving detrimental to any glimmer of hope. My heart felt heavier with each moment. How lonely the wistful, forlorn mind can become. I'd been swept up in a frightening world I didn't understand and couldn't possibly control. I can't possibly figure out what's happening to Father if I'm stuck here. Only Hijikata can give me permission to leave, and he's gone. All I could do was wait. Lamenting things I couldn't change wouldn't improve my situation, and would arguably make it worse. I knew I couldn't trust the men of the Shinsengumi completely. They were, after all, men who could take life in the blink of an eye. It would be just as easy for them to end my life.
Hijikata is dad! We have to wait for him to get home so we can ask permission if we can go out.
Well, at least they've all been nice to me. For now. They're nice men deep down, right?
君さ、騙されやすい性格とか言われない？
Oh no. What are you doing here?
あれ？もしかして気づいてなかったとか？この時間帯は僕が君の監視役なんだけどな。
Did you hear everything I said?
なんか言ってたの？
He'd heard me. He had definitely heard me. I wanted to scream, but before I could open my mouth, Saito stepped out from behind the door.
掃除、無駄話はそれくらいにしておけ。
Wait, were you here the whole time too?
つい先ほど来たばかりだが。
Oh, thank goodness. I'm sorry for screaming like that.
気にするな。そもそも今の独り言は聞かれて困るような内容でもないだろう。
True, I didn't say anything, bad, but still. Well, I was just embarrassed to be caught talking to myself. As Saito watched me fidgeting and mumbling, his eyes pierced right through me.
Saito is a very good boy. When I played through the original game oh so long ago and didn't know what the hell to choose and just like followed my heart, I ended up with Saito. So apparently Saito is my actual OTP. I just... meh.
夕飯の支度が済んだのだが邪魔をしただろうか。
Oh, no, nothing at all.
あんたと掃除の話に一区切りついたら声をかけるつもりだったんだが、放っておくと長引きそうだったからな。話の腰を折らせてもらった。
The goodest boy? He's a very good boy. In fact, there's a lot of like goofy chibi art where they throw like animal ears and tails on some of them. Soji is always a cat. Saito is always a puppy.
Saito shrugged shortly before we caught the sound of footsteps approaching us noisily. Heisuke shot through the door. The moment he saw us, however, his face fell.
You guys, he wanted to be the one to come and tell Chizuru it was dinner time. Oh.
ああ、ちょいちょい、はじめくん。何仲良くおしゃべりしてんのさ。
すまない。取り込み中だった。
おお、まあ仕方ないな。飯の時間なんだからさ、早く行こうぜ。食うものなくなっちまうよ。
Okay.
ようやく来たか。
おめえら遅えんだよ。この俺の腹の高鳴りをどうしてくれんだ。
新八さん、それってただ腹が鳴ってるだけだろ。困るよね、こういう単純な人。
お前らが来るまで食い始めるのを待っててやった。俺様の寛大な腹に感謝しやがれ。
シンパチー、それ寛大な心だろう。それじゃいつものように自分の飯は自分で守れよ。
今日も相変わらずせこい夕飯だよな。というわけで隣の晩ご飯突撃だい。弱肉強食の時代俺様がいただくぜ。
ちょっと新発さん、なんで俺のおかずばっか狙うかな。
Danny.
それは体の大きさだ。大きいやつにはそれなりに食う量が必要なんだよ。
じゃあ育ち盛りの俺はもっともっと食わないとね。
毎回毎回こんなんで済まないな。
I love how these two assholes are fighting over the food, and Sano's just like, I'm sorry. They're weird. Yeah, Heisuke is wonderful. So wonderful. And yes, it may slowly be killing Danny because nothing will ever compare to Heisuke ever again.
I've, gotten used to it.
慣れとは恐ろしいものだな。
Oh, why aren't you taking anything?
うん。あんまりお腹いっぱいに食べるとバカになるしね。
おいおい、バカとは聞き捨て。だがその飯はいただくぜ。
どうぞどうぞ。僕はお酒をちびちびしてればいいし。
んじゃ俺も酒にするかな。
ただご飯とか気にしないで。お腹いっぱい食べるんだよ。
Okay, that line reads like hella passive aggressive to me, but that might just be me assuming that's the case because Soji said it. But because Soji said it, that's probably the case. Anyway.
I know. I can't help but feel a little bad, though.
気にしなくてもいいが、自分の飯は自分で守れ。
Okay. Always eating alone made the experience of dinner with these men both an exhilarating and a frightening evening for me. It was actually fun.
最初からそうやって笑ってろ。俺らもお前を悪いようにはしないさ。
Isn't it wonderful when they just like imply the closeness because they get the close up like way the fuck up in your face?
Harada. His mouth curled up into an honest smile of his own. Had I really looked so down? Perhaps they were all trying to cheer me up. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. I was conflicted over whether or not to feel pity for myself or to appreciate the moment for what it was. The joy seemed to be winning out, however, and I caught myself smiling as Inoue entered the room.
ちょっといいかいみんな。
As usual, his voice was warm, but in his eyes was a level of solemnity I'd never seen before, at least during our brief acquaintance thus far.
Danny. Chorizo is her boy name.
The warmth of the room slowly evaporated.
大坂にいるトシさんから手紙が届いたんだが、三男さんがタイム中に重傷を負ったらしい。
Oh no, they've murdered good Zanan.
What?
何があったの？
ああ、 二人が訪ねる大坂の呉服屋に老師たちが無理やり押し入ったらしい。駆けつけたトシさんと三男さんがなんとか老師たちを退けたらしいが、その時に切られたそうなんだ。
Is he going to be alright?
相当の深手だと手紙に書いてあるけど、傷は左腕とのことだ。剣を握るのは難しいみたいだが、命に別状はないそうだよ。
Oh, thank goodness. I exhaled as a brief sigh of relief, but the rest of the room was tense, still itching for answers.
数日中には豚書へたどり着くんじゃないかな。それじゃ私は勇さんと話があるから。
He turned as he spoke, his last words delivered over his shoulder, and was gone. It was Saito who soon broke the awkward silence.
剣が握れないほどの深手か。腕の筋まで立たれているかもしれん。刀は片腕で容易に扱えるものではない。最悪三男さんは二度と真剣を震えまい。
Oh. At last I understood.
片腕で扱えば刀の威力は損なわれる。そしてつばぜり合いになれば確実に負ける。
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
そうじ、めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Huh? Wait, that didn't make any sense. What are the Furies?
おう、羅刹ってのは薬を飲んだら怪我も治っちまう。ヘイスケ!
Huh? Before I could move, Harada was on his feet and halfway across the room. I barely had time to gasp before he drove his fist into Heisuke. Heisuke, are you alright?
やりすぎだぞ佐野。悪かったな平助。先に口を滑らせたこっちも悪かった。
大丈夫か？悪かったな。
After a moment, Harada curtly nodded to Heisuke in apology, the latter offering a quick, pained smile.
いや、今のは俺が悪かったけど、たくさんのさんはすぐ手が出るんだからな。
His punch had enough force to knock out a lesser man, but Heisuke seemed unfazed. It was never clearer how different these men were.
今の話は君が聞いちゃいけないことにほんのちょっと首を突っ込んだところだ。これ以上のことは教えられねえんだ。気になるだろうけど何も聞かないでほしい。それとさっきの平助の話は忘れてくれ。
His voice was friendly, but his eyes gave his words a cold weight that made me feel uncomfortable.
羅刹っていうのはかわいそうな子たちのことだよ。
Okita's voice was flat, emotionless. A sudden chill of melancholy entered his eyes. I couldn't bring myself to say anything more. Thankfully, Nagakura broke the awkward silence.
お前さんは何も気にしなくていいんだって。だからそんな顔するなよ。
I was only a guest in their house, not a warrior of the Shinsengumi. The truth of the Shinsengumi's secrets were no business of mine. Something I'd known. There was little value in that sentiment, however.
忘れろ。深 深く踏み込めばあんたの生き死ににも関わりかねない。
I bit my lip and kept silent. The wall between us was almost tangible, almost far too large an obstacle for me to defeat easily.
Yeah, you're quite on the point there, Grim. These characters have quite a lot of depth to them, which is one of the reasons I love this so much. You don't always get the same perception of them depending on the route that you go through. And sometimes the writing slips a little and like the characters can have drastically different personalities. That mostly happens with some of the villains. Kazuma in particular gets real swingy with his personality depending on which story you see him in. But in general, the main guys are all pretty well written. And they may have improved it in this version. I haven't played it enough to know.
I finished my dinner in sad silence, excused myself, and returned to my room. I had a great deal to think about. Furies, huh? I wondered to myself if the Furies referred to the Rakshasa pictured in Buddha's text. Though I wasn't well versed, I recalled reading a text about a man-eating demon god with that name. I have no idea where to start, from drinking the medicine to Captain becoming a Fury. No, I wasn't supposed to think about those things. I was only going to get myself in trouble if I stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Seeing or hearing the wrong thing could kill me. If I die, I'll have a hard time looking for my father. The Shinsengumi captains are keeping themselves hush around me, especially about the Furies. Are they doing it to protect me? Even if I dug around, I'm sure nothing good would come of it. With that in mind, I did my best to clear my head of the evening's events, and slipped into my futon.
And we move on to March of 1864.
March 1864. It fast approached a month since I began living with the Shinsengumi headquarters. Hijikata and Sannan finally returned to the compound from their trip to Osaka, but their spirits were low. Sannan's injury had unforeseen consequences for everyone in the organization. Day-to-day operations became hectic for a little while. His wounds seemed quite dire, and they drained whatever goodness in his nature he'd hoped to keep. Sannan would spend days holed up in his room, protected by a barrier of impenetrable silence. If he were to leave his room, a rare occasion now, he was often short-tempered and quickly retreated. Even though I too spent days in the exile of my room, he seemed to take it much differently. Sannan seemed trapped within a painful memory, each day bringing him closer to a gloomy twilight. I softly pondered what service I could offer to the Shinsengumi if I were not allowed to search for my father. I'm sure Hijikata is overwhelmed with whatever business he's dealing with, but I need to visit him. I realize with the tension so high that it's better to have Hijikata on my side rather than not. I crept around the hall looking for Hijikata, but he was nowhere to be seen. Would it be impolite to visit his room directly? As I paced around the hall in contemplation, an unknown warrior appeared before me.
Oh no.
I've been living in the Yagi residence for a month, but he was unfamiliar to me.
Lynn's got it right. Hi, asshole. Who remembers this guy?
My current dilemma compelled me to approach him. Excuse me. Have you seen Hijikata? The man turned to respond, and my eyes widened to scan his enormous frame before he spoke.
お前はどこの誰だ? なぜここにいる?
Oh, I am... Well, it's a long story.
誰だと聞いている? 答えろ.
I'm... Chizuru Yukimura.
ほう。副長が故障に取り立てたという見習い大使とは、お前のことか?
Yes. I wasn't aware they were telling people that I was an apprentice warrior at headquarters. However, my reputation was the last thing on my mind as I faced this man's pressuring gaze. I didn't appreciate the harsh scrutiny he seemed to impose, scanning me from head to toe.
お前、局長や副長とはどんな関係だ? 同じ江戸の出身らしいが、どんな縁故を使って取り入った?
I did no such thing!
そう向きになるところを見ると、ますます怪しいぞ。ここは、お前のような剣の腕も才覚もなさそうなものが、うろうろしていいところではないんだがな。もう一度聞く。どうやってあの二人に取り入った? この私、武田観柳斎が聞いているのだぞ。なぜ答えない?
Act the fuck up, dude.
He grew increasingly agitated, almost like a petulant child because I refused to answer him. He reached his massive hand over towards me as if to grab me, but then a voice stopped him.
おい、武田! こんなところで何をしている?
When he recognized Hijikata's voice, he snapped his hand back to his side.
これは土方副長。何? 近藤局長に少々用がありましてね。
Hijikata-san, 助けて。
ほう。俺は何も聞いちゃいないが。
最近お姿が見えない三段総長の代わりに相談に乗ってほしいと言われているのです。
So, for those of you at home, Kanryusai Takeda is one of the historical figures. He is also not fictional, and he is apparently the historical one was as much an asshole as they're depicting him here. He was kind of a social climber who was really, really trying to buddy up to Kondo as much as humanly possible.
しかし、近藤局長もいらっしゃらないようなので、私はこれで失礼します。
Takeda turned to take his leave, but then he slowed his step, leaving us with a few words.
ところで土方副長、そのものを故障に取り立てたというのは本当ですか？
ああ、少しばかり訳ありでな。
I love how, like, completely nonplussed and disinterested Hijikata looks right now.
承知しました。訳ありならば詳しく聞くのはやめておきましょう。ですが、あまり同じ郷里のものばかりを周りに囲うのはいかがなものかと思います。では、失礼。
Once Takeda exited the hall, I couldn't help but feel a rush of relief.
おい、雪村。豚書の中を勝手に歩くんじゃね
Eh. Sorry, Dad.
Yes, sir. I didn't mean to cause trouble.
え。お前の正体を知っているのは、このヤギ邸に寝起きしてるやつだけだ。前川邸からこっちに来るやつらには気をつけろ。いいな。
Clear. I promise to be more careful going forward. So, may I ask who that man was?
あいつか。5番組組長の武田貫流斎ってやつだ。腕はそこそこだが、文学だが軍学の多少の知恵を持ってるやつだ。
This information is also historically accurate.
抜け目のないやつだからな。気をつけろ。
This information is also historically accurate.
Okay.
それから、用がないならお前もこの辺でうろうろしてないで部屋に戻っていろ。
Hijikata attempted to dismiss me, having said what he felt was appropriate as a stern commander.
We're gonna ask if we can help around the compound.
I didn't get many chances to see Hijikata, so I took the opportunity to offer my aid to the house. I actually have a favor to ask of you, Hijikata. Staying in my room for long periods alone makes me feel terribly useless. Would you please give me something to do? I'll do anything. Cleaning, laundry, anything. Hijikata sensed the sincerity of my plea, and it appeared as though he actually considered it.
部屋にこもっているのはそんなに退屈か？
Well, a little.
わかった。ゲンさんに伝えておくから、後で指示を仰げ。
Really?
その代わり、あまり外から来たやつと関わるんじゃねえぞ。いいな。
Understood. But thank you so much. The next day, Inoue informed me that I was given more freedom within the headquarters, which allowed me to exit my room freely. My duties included cleaning, laundry, and cooking. Not the most glamorous of chores, of course. However, it gave me an opportunity to occupy myself as opposed to going stir-crazy in my room. I looked down into the bucket full of water and had my face stare back, sporting a boy's haircut. I shoved my cleaning rag into the water, and the image disappeared behind 1,000 tiny ripples. I hope I'm doing this right.
おや、どうかしたかい、雪村君。疲れたなら部屋に戻って休むといい。お湯がもうすぐ沸くと思うから。 温かいお茶を持って行ってあげよ
Gen-san is so nice.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Besides, I told you I wanted to help.
う。すまんな。何分男女体のせいか、うちの連中は不精なものが多くてね。助かるよ。
He smiled and squeezed his washcloth into the bucket. Though I was embarrassed to say it aloud, Inoue wore a pleasing smile that suited him well.
私の顔に何かついているかい？
Oh, no, nothing. I'm honestly just happy to contribute to the house. Almost on cue, one of the soldiers appeared and called Inoue's name.
井上さん、山崎さんが呼んでましたよ。巡察日程について話があるとか。
I know, Gen is great. He's not quite old enough to be like grandpa, but he's just the nice old guy.
ああ、そういえばうちの組は来月の担当日がまだ決まっていなかったね。ではすまないけれど、少し待つよう山崎くんに言ってくれないかい？もう少しで雑巾掛けが終わるから。
Well, Inoue, I can handle the rest on my own. We're almost done anyway, and I know where the cleaning supplies go.
雪村くんがそう言うなら、そうさせてもらおうかね。
He wiped his hands and stood up, but before he left, Inoue bent over me and whispered.
もしあんたの事情を知らない大使が来たら、すぐ部屋に入りなさい。面倒なことになりかねないからね。
Okay. As Inoue left, I went back to cleaning the floor. Any passers-by would likely avoid me, but more trouble was the last thing I needed. It wouldn't hurt to be extra careful. I was pushing myself to work faster when...
なんだ?
Huh? Heisuke? What are you doing with that sake?
ああ、いや。外に酒でも飲みに行くかどうか考えてたとこなんだけどさ。
It's our boy!
それより、お前こそ何やってんの？部屋から出てもいいのかよ。
Yeah, I received approval from Hijikata and Inoue. I don't have anything to do, so I asked him if I could help clean the floor.
雑巾掛けって、お前まさか自分からやるって言い出したのか？物好きなやつだな。俺ならきっと頼まれたってやらねえぞ。面倒だし。
Really?
そうだよ。変わってんなお前。
Narcissus. Hey.
He laughed, but his eyes were still thin and sharp, like he was watching carefully for me to make a mistake, or slip and reveal some hidden truth. He might have resembled a kid, but Heisuke had a maturity and swagger that erased any doubts one may have about him being a Shinsengumi captain.
でさ、なんでわざわざ雑用なんてしてんの？頑張れば処遇が良くなったり、俺たちから信用されると思ってるとか？だとしたらそりゃ思い違いだって。黙って部屋にいた方がいいんじゃねえの
？No, that's not it at all. I just wanted to do something. You know I came to Kyoto to look for my father? All I've done so far is sit around and wait. Doing nothing all day is eating up any hope I have, forcing me to turn thoughts over and over again.
悪い。なんつうか、まずいこと聞いちまったよな、俺。
Okay, Grim. Sleep well. Good night. The VOD will be there for you. Thanks for hanging out as always. Team Heisuke!
ほら、この酒あるから泣きやめって。悪いこと忘れるには酒がいいって言うし。
Good lord, Heisuke.
He shoved the bottle out toward me. Thank you. I'm kind of in the middle of cleaning, though. I don't really think I should drink right now.
そっか、わかった。じゃあ俺一人で飲むとすっかな。
He slumped against the wall and wallowed in a boyish display of self-pity, drinking by himself. Heisuke, don't tell me you're going to drink here.
大丈夫だって。これくらいで酔うわけないから。
That's not really what I meant. His display reminded me that even the most mature of us were prone to such boorish moments. However, it really wasn't my place to judge him.
なんだよ。じゃあどういうことだって？
わかりませんか？雪村くんは昼から酒を飲んで東堂くんが怒られないかと心配してくれているんですよ。
Oops.
Oh, Sannan. Hello. He glanced over at me but said nothing. Before he may have greeted me, but now...
それより東堂くん、鬼の副長が君を探していましたよ。
Oh, my friends in chat. Hard agreeing with all of you right now.
土方さんからの呼び出し？なんか嫌な予感が。
おそらく君の予想通りでしょうね。諦めて絞られてきなさい。
仕方ねえ。行ってくるとすっか。あ、そうだ。
Yes?
いや、三男さんがいてくれりゃ平気か。お前も頑張れよ。
Thanks? He awkwardly shrugged, then headed away. It was worrisome, though. His saunter was weighed by a defeated slump. Sannan, what did Hijikata want to talk to him about?
ああ、東堂くんはお叱りを受けに行くんですよ。今日は土方くんの虫の居所が悪いようでしてね。
Oh no. Did he do something?
ええ。ここのところ大使がたるんでいるようで、その筆頭として普段よく遊び歩いている東堂くんが目をつけられたというわけです。まあ、大使への見せしめの意味も込めて、数日間の謹慎処分といったところでしょうか。
Really? That seems a little harsh.
ほう。では今まさに酒を飲もうとしていた人間をどうかばえと。東堂くんたち3人は普段から遊び歩いていますしね。いい薬でしょう。
Did Hijikata call Nagakura and Harada in too?
いえ、あの2人は今は留守のようです。まあ、戻ってきたら同様の処分が下されるはずですが。
Oh. His words were followed by a long, stiff silence. I felt like I had to say something, so I spoke up. I don't usually see Heisuke all alone like that. Most of the time he's with Nagakura and Harada.
それはきっと君のことが気になったからでしょうね。
What? But he just turned and walked away. Worries about me? Had he been worried I might do something? Was he just keeping an eye on me? Sannan's suggestion implied there was more than he was letting on, but I couldn't quite place it. After all, he was surprised to find me outside my room, so he wasn't there to supervise me. Maybe he came out to see how I was doing. Later that night, warm under my covers, my mind fluttered busily, preventing me from resting. Heisuke was later sentenced to house arrest. I was also informed that his food portions were to be decreased, so he wasn't present at dinner. He must be getting really hungry. The more I thought about Heisuke, though, the more worried I became. What was it he said?
いや、三男さんがいてくれりゃ平気か。お前も頑張れよ。
All right, Rude. Good night. Take care. Thanks for hanging out.
And yeah, we're gonna go bring our Babs some snacks.
As I played the words back in my head, I grew more and more convinced that he had been worried about me and came to check up on me. I was essentially confined to my room and I could only speak to certain people. Was he so worried that he was willing to keep me company when all the others were out? All right, that's it. I've made up my mind. I rolled over, stood up, and grabbed my jacket. I tiptoed down the hallway until I reached the room where Heisuke was being kept. After checking for any nearby patrollers, I whispered as loud as I dared. Heisuke?
この声、ひょっとして。
Yes, I needed to tell you something. Is that okay?
いいかなってお前、いいわけないだろう。勝手に部屋を抜け出して謹慎中の大使を訪ねるなんて誰かに見つかったら。
I hear footsteps.
おい、さっさと中入れ。
Before I could even react, his door flew open and an arm shot out to pull me inside. I was still trying to figure out what was going on when he threw a blanket over me. What?
いいからそれかぶってじっと隠れてろ。
I wasn't sure if he could see it, but I nodded. We waited in breathless silence for the footsteps to move past before I finally poked out my head. Heisuke frowned over my head, watching silently.
はあ、何してんのさお前。土方さんとかに見つかったらどうする気だったんだよ。
Nope, we just wanted to see you, baby.
俺に用なら伝言を頼むとか、謹慎が解けるまで待つとか、いろいろ方法があるだろう。
Sorry, but this couldn't wait. I can deal with the consequences, though. I was...
Apparently the choice we need to choose is worried.
Ah,
俺のことが
Fuck. I love that I can do that.
I was worried about you, Heisuke.
俺のことが
You came to visit me this afternoon because you were worried about me, right? Well, I'm just doing the same thing. I was just worried you might be sad or something. Or maybe hungry.
あのな、謹慎って言うならお前だって同じようなもんだし。
Well, I guess you have a point.
よく考えなくてもそうだろ
Nope. No, we didn't.
う。たくそんな状況なのに人の心配するって呆れたっつうかお人よしっつうか。
I'm sorry. I didn't have a response, so we sat in silence.
でもその気持ちは嬉しいけどな。
He smiled.
で、さっき今じゃないとダメだよって言ってたけど、何の用事で俺のところまで来たんだよ。
Oh no, Danny. Okay. You just have to pick this one up in the VOD.
Oh, right. Good, it didn't get squished. I opened up the wrapping to show him what I brought, and Heisuke's eyes lit up.
握り飯
Yes. Well, they're leftovers from dinner.
これのためにわざわざ危ない橋渡ってここまで来たのか
Well, yeah. I thought you might be hungry. For several long moments, he just stared at it. Was he really so perplexed?
お前がせっかく俺のために作ってくれたものなんだよな。食べないでお前を追い返してもここに来た事実が消えるわけじゃねえし。それに
His face broke into a wide smile.
何よりすげえ腹減ったし。
Daw.
As he spoke, he reached out, plucked the rice ball from my hand, and bit off a piece.
うわ、うまっ、すっげえうまい。これ何入ってんだよ。
He displayed a great talent in taking large bites while still speaking full sentences. Is it really that good? I mean, it's just salt and pickled plums.
そっか。でもこんなうまい握り飯今まで食ったことないかも。
Really? Well, I'm glad you like it. He ate ravenously as if he'd never eaten a meal in his entire life. He couldn't contain himself. I had a feeling it had less to do with my cooking skill and more attributed to him being starved. But I still felt guilty for not putting in more effort. In no time at all, he'd finished it off and was licking stray grains of rice from his fingers. He thanked me for the food and then made me promise never to do it again before I left his room. His fire-eyed expression from when I'd given him the rice ball made me giggle as I walked to my room.
Oi.
Oh no.
I froze. The voice came from around the corner, out of sight.
おいお前、そんなところで何してやがる
Busted.
Hijikata!
質問に答えろ。 ここで何をしてた？
His eyes pressed against me like a pair of icy rods. I swallowed and hid the rice ball wrapper behind me. What could I say? Anything I said could possibly implicate Heisuke. Unfortunately, it seemed like Hijikata already knew whose room I'd visited.
大使だったら切腹もんだ。
Narcissus. Were this a less serious scene, I could totally see that happening. Because anime.
His vengeful scowl appeared like a demon in the darkness.
さっさと寝ろ。二度と余計なことするんじゃねえぞ。
Of course. I'm so sorry. I ran for my room as fast as I could. My heart pounded as I clambered back into bed. That was way too close. He'd let me go this time, but I saw in his eyes that I'd been in serious trouble if he caught me again. I crawled deeper under the covers and desperately tried to think about something else. I couldn't deny that I crossed a line. But even after that terrifying encounter with Hijikata, I didn't regret it. I hadn't been able to do much, but it seemed to have really cheered him up. It was the first glimmer of hope refracting onto me since coming to the Shinsengumi compound.
And suddenly we're in June of 1864. We should save. It's been a while.
June 1864. The fourth year of the Bunkyo era became the Ganji Gannen, and the summer sweetly blossomed. Spring shed its blooming skin, giving birth to lush green trees facing the wide open sky. During one of these beautiful summer days, I finished cleaning after everyone ate breakfast, and Saito brought me to the hall to Hijikata.
副長、斉藤です。雪村を連れて参りました。
入れ。
Saito responded by quietly opening the sliding doors, gesturing me to enter the room. Upon entering, I saw Hijikata, but also Okita, Nagakura, Hadara, and Heisuke in the hall. It appeared that only the captains who were aware of my situation were present.
随分と長く待たせたな。お前を外に出してやる時が来た。
Really? I could barely contain the excitement in my voice as soon as the words came out of his mouth. So, is it true there was a man in Fushimi that matched my father's profile?
真偽は定かじゃねえが。本人かどうかは娘のお前に確かめてもらうのが一番だと思ってな。
You guys, we get to leave the house!
I nodded in response. For now, any information pertaining to my father was appreciated, so I was thankful. So, where is this man who supposedly looks like my father?
伏見にある寺田屋って宿だ。これから斎藤に確かめに行ってもらう。
Saito is assigned. I wasn't sure if that meant I was to accompany Saito, or if I would have to wait longer for him. Then Harada chimed in.
だが、行動さんがまだそこに留まってるとは限らねえだろう。
ああ、 伏見にいたってことは今日の街中をうろついてる可能性もある。
その通りだ。だから原田と新八、それから平助の巡察にこいつを同行させて高堂さんを探してもらってもいい。
俺たち全員で？いつもは手分けして順番に見回りしてるのに。
Hijikata didn't bother entertaining a response, instead looking towards me. Was he suggesting... These were the men who were responsible for dealing with me should I attempt to flee. Heisuke must have sensed this as well, so he made no attempt to push the issue any further.
言いたいことは分かりましたけど、この子のおもりを僕たちに任せっぱなしってのは気に入らないな。今日は確か土方さんも外出する予定が入ってましたよね。今後のためにも可愛い故障を同行させていろいろ勉強させたらどうですか？
何を言ってやがる。こいつが俺の故障っつうのはお前が勝手に言ってただけだろうが。
でも他の大使たちは完全にそう信じ込んでるみたいですよ。
Soji basically just spends his days trolling Hijikata because lols.
嘘から出た誠なんて言葉もありますし、相応の仕事をさせた方がいいんじゃないですか。
As Okita and Hijikata bickered at one another, the mood of the room was locked in their tense words, until Harada whispered to me.
まあ、今の今日は物騒だし、無理に出かける必要はねえと思うぜ。俺たちも一応、高堂さんの顔はわかるんだしな。
I could look for my father in Fushimi, or join the patrol rounds assuming he's moved places, or stay here to keep safe from the outside, or accompany Hijikata as his page.
We are gonna join them on their rounds this time because that is what the walkthrough says to do to make Heisuke happy.
Well, I would like to accompany Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke on their patrol.
なんだ、俺たちと一緒に来るつもりか？巡察って遊びじゃねえんだぜ。
Bro, squad!
別に脅かす必要はねえだろう。俺たちに表立って喧嘩を売ってくる命知らずがそうそういるはずねえし。
ああ、大船に乗ったつもりで安心してくれていいぜ。
Thank you. My hands trembled from excitement. I was going to be able to join Nagakura and the others.
Time to go on a patrol.
Although I was given approval to peruse the inner yard or the front gate, this was special. It was almost 5 months since I'd been able to step out of the headquarters and explore.
Jesus! 5 months, you guys.
It was as if I could take my first breath after being submerged underwater.
俺たちから離れねえようにしろよ。知ってると思うが、今日の治安は良くねえからな。
Got it. While tagging alongside the men on their rounds, I was served a dose of reality I wasn't prepared for. A pervasive sense of revulsion came from every pair of eyes laid on the Shinsengumi. However, when we met their judgmental gaze, they pretended to go about their business, shuffling themselves away. Their body language denoted a mixture of fear and disgust, as if they were paralyzed by rumors. Amidst the haze, I overheard someone mutter the Mibu wolves.
どうした？浮かねえ顔してるが、具合でも悪いのか？
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. I brought my voice to a whisper and quietly asked Harada a question. What are the Mibu wolves? I've heard it in murmurs from the townspeople since we started doing our rounds.
俺たちのあだ名だよ。ミブ村の老子と狼をかけてミブロだと。
I'm not sure if being a wolf is something to be proud of. But why? You guys are protecting the safety of Kyoto, right?
今日の人間はよそ者が嫌いだからな。俺たちのことを田舎者だのなんだのって散々バカにしてくれやがって。
Yeah, the thing to keep in mind is that a lot of these guys are, or well, a fair chunk of them are originally from Edo. Welcome back, Danny! We're on patrol with the Bro Squad! And yes, we fed Heisuke a rice ball and we got caught by Hijikata and that was almost terrible, but we fed Heisuke a rice ball! In his bedroom. Anyway.
Ma, 江戸みてえにいろんな藩の出の人間が住んでるわけじゃねえからな。どうしてもよそ者への偏見はあるさ。
As it stood, the warriors seemed used to how the people
Oh god, words.
As it stood, the warriors seemed used to how the townspeople treated them. I kept my hands at my side, keeping a keen eye around the city for any sign of my father. All of a sudden,
今何と申したのだ。我ら勤王の死に立てつくとは、天使様に弓引くのと同じことぞ。
a group of thugs with greasy, unkempt hair were causing trouble with some of the townsfolk. Heisuke noticed the emerging fray and was quick to aid whomever the thugs were harassing.
おいてめえら、そこで何してやがる。新選組だぞ、神妙にしろ。
ミブロだと。
The Ronin caught sight of the Shinsegumi's light blue jackets and drew his sword in response. It was clear, however, the Ronin were no match.
おとなしくしろ。暴れなきゃ命までは取らねえよ。
One of the Ronin tried to make a run for it by pushing through the surrounding warriors.
待ちやがれ。
Heisuke chased after him, but the Ronin was quick at navigating the crowds, giving him the edge. I didn't think there was any chance of catching him, but then, appearing out of nowhere...
どこに行くつもりだ。何もやましいことがないなら逃げることはないはずだろう。
A mysterious samurai appeared, grabbing the Ronin's shoulders and stopping him in his tracks.
邪魔をするな。
The Ronin threw a punch at the samurai, landing in his face.
その程度の腕前でこの俺の足止めをしようとするなど100年早いわ。
The Ronin roared with a smug laughter. Attempting to run, he was stopped by Harada.
おっと、どこに行くつもりだ。まさか仲間を見捨てて逃げるなんて言わねえよな。
豚書までお付き合い願うぜ。いつ解放してやれるかはわからねえがな。
くそ、ふざけるな。
Before the Ronin could swing his sword, Nagakura and Harada tackled and subdued him.
何をする。離さぬか。
うるせえぞ。今からもっと痛い目に遭わせてやるからな。
Heisuke approached the mysterious samurai who attempted to stop the Ronin.
手伝ってくれてありがとよ。助かったぜ。
The samurai sat on the floor with his head down, hiding his bloodied, disgruntled face.
別に礼を言われたくてしたことじゃない。
He wiped his mouth without wincing, adjusting his posture sheepishly. It sounded as if he was muttering to himself.
新選組が乱暴者の集まりだっていうのは本当らしいな。 あいつが言ってた通りだ。
Heisuke was visibly angered by the samurai's words.
俺たちが乱暴者ってどういうことだ？誰が言ってた？
いや、誰って江戸じゃ誰もがそう言ってるぞ。名を上げることしか頭にない血に飢えた人斬り集団の新選組ってな。
The samurai's harsh words rung deep within Harada, causing him to grab the samurai's collar and push him against the wall.
てめえ、今なんつった？
何をするんだ！俺は聞かれたから答えただけだぞ。
じっくり聞かせてもらおうじゃねえか。江戸の噂かどうか知らねえが、お前が俺たちをどう思ってるかをよ。
待て！俺の考えじゃないって言っただろうが！そこの人も止めてくれ！
こうなっちまったら諦めろ。佐野にはこの手の冗談は全く通じねえんだから。命が惜しければ早いとこ詫び入れた方がいいぜ。
なあ、俺たちのことは江戸じゃそんなに噂になってるのか？
それは。
He turned away awkwardly and a piece of paper dropped out of his inner pocket.
なんだこれ。
Harada reached down to pick up the piece of paper, and the samurai's eyes widened in panic.
待て！それに触りだ！
The samurai raced his hand down to grab the paper, but Nagakura and Heisuke were faster than him.
おっと！
This poor kid.
離せ！何をする！
With two men holding him down, the samurai's desperate attempts to break free of their grasp were hopeless. They were far too strong.
何をするはこっちのセリフだろ。どうしていちいち突っかかるんだよ。
うるさい！この鳴らす者ども！
Harada grabbed the piece of paper and examined it as Nagakura and Heisuke argued with the samurai. His face wore a deeply concerned expression. I wasn't able to catch a glimpse myself. My heart pounded. Was it a lead for my father? Did it describe a plot against the Shinsengumi? Suddenly, Harada looked up to question him.
お前、この絵をどこで手に入れたんだ？
Harada's tone of voice shifted, as if the two were locked in a duel to the death.
なんだ？何が書かれてたんだよ？
Nagakura could sense something was off with Harada. Harada handed the piece of paper to Nagakura without speaking a word. Nagakura examined it for a second before passing it to Heisuke, both of whom snapped to alertness.
武士にこんなことをしてただで済むと思っているのか！
そんなこと関係ねえよ。いいから答えろ。
The conversation shifted to an interrogation, one party in full control and demanding answers. The samurai glared intensely at the captains, but his words did not match his intensity.
江戸の知り合いからもらったんだよ。
その知り合いっつうのは誰だ？
どうしてそんなことまで言わなきゃならないんだ。あんたたちには関わりのないことだろうが。
関わりがあるかないかは俺たちが判断することだ。いいから答えろよ。
Harada was clearly growing frustrated with the samurai's lack of cooperation. It was clear that the samurai had nowhere to run, so he gave in, hoping to be let go.
知ってる絵描き見習いだ。それ以上は言わない。
この絵はそいつから譲り受けたのか、それとも売られてたものか。
売り物じゃない。俺が無理に譲ってもらったんだ。
絵はこれ一枚きりか、それとも他に何枚かあるのか。
わからないが、俺が知ってる限りその一枚だけだ。
そうか。
Harada held the piece of paper in his hands, exhaling while staring at it pensively. Nagakura continued.
この絵は俺たちが預かる。つうか、お前も今から豚書に連行だ。
何を言い出すんだ。どうしてあんたたちが俺を。
The desperation in his voice was palpable, but Nagakura and Harada gave him no chance to leave.
つべこべ言うなよ。お前、名前は何て言うんだ？
The samurai fired a glance at Harada so sharp it could have cut, but he finally relented.
相馬和恵。
相馬か。ま、運が悪かったと思って諦めろよ。豚書で戦議してみて問題がないって分かれば解放してやるからさ。
Despite Heisuke's reassurances, Soma showed no signs of giving up and seethed with anger.
何もしてない俺を連行しようとするあんたたちの言葉なんて信用すると思ってるのか。
I know. Heisuke's advice about luck is usually like, well, sucks to be you, huh? Also, gosh, he's a short little shit.
俺たちもできれば穏便に済ませてやりてえんだから、それ以上文句言うなって。
Heisuke seemed to be acting genuinely to Soma. I was surprised they didn't do anything worse. So we apprehended Soma, along with the Ronin from earlier, and returned to headquarters. I was still curious about what the drawing was on the piece of paper. Perhaps it's best that I don't know. The men kept to themselves quietly on our walk. Once we returned to the compound, all of the captains were gathered. They circled around Soma silently, glaring intently at him. The air was suffocatingly still.
Danny, that's rough, buddy.
I hadn't felt this way at the headquarters since my arrival.
で、この絵を描いたのはどんなやつなんだ？
知らない。
おい、さっきは知り合いの絵師だって言ったじゃねえか。
記憶にないな。
おい、てめえ、嘘をつくのもいい加減にしろよ。
ねえ君、何も話すつもりがないなら切っちゃうけど、それでもいい？
And Soji's on his bullshit again.
Okita reached for his sword, but Saito moved his arm in front to stop him.
待て掃除。三男さんの話が先だ。
相馬くんと言いましたね。あなたはこの絵を何を描いたものだと思っていますか？
浅黄色の大服を着た新選組大使だろ。
確かに着物はそうですね。ですがこの絵の人物は白髪で目が赤く口が裂けています。
Oh no.
Okay, Denny!
We'll see you in a bit.
あなたはこれを見て何とも思いませんでしたか？
確かに変だとは思ったが、そいつが新選組は鬼のような奴らだって言ってたから、そうなのかなって。
なるほど、鬼ですか。的を射ているかもしれませんね。ところで新選組のことをよく知っていて絵の心得がある人物、私たちにも心当たりがないわけではありません。これを書いたのは伊吹くんですね。
Soma's eyes grew wide, telegraphing that his secret was revealed by Sannan. He was defeated, nodding to Sannan.
もう一度聞くぞ。 この絵はこれ一枚きりなんだな。
ああ、捨てるつもりだって言ってたのを無理やりもらってきたからな。だがなんだってこの絵のことで俺がこんな目に遭わなきゃならないんだ。
こんな鬼みてえな絵が市中に出回ってみろ。俺たちの評判が今まで以上に落ちるに決まってるだろうが。
それは確かに。
というわけでこの絵は没収させていただきます。
Oops.
Whoopsie.
It's okay. We don't really give a shit about Sanan talking, do we? Dude just wanted a badass poster for his wall.
Sunnun's rhetorical question left Soma no room to negotiate, leaving him to sigh in defeat.
わかった。好きにしてくれ。俺の疑いもこれで晴れたんだろう。
His face looked haggard, exhausted from stress. Kondo stepped forward slowly and nodded.
相馬くんだったな。俺は会津藩お預かり新選組局長を務めている近藤勇という。うちの大使が手荒な真似をしてしまってすまなかったな。許してほしい。
Kondo exerted his extreme courteousness by bowing deeply and sincerely. Soma was caught off guard by his act of kindness, his eyes growing wide. Instantly, he became flustered.
顔を上げてくれ。あなたは新選組局長なのでしょう。俺みたいな小心な者に頭を下げるなんて。
I don't blame Soma for being so surprised. The samurai way of life dictates that honor and hierarchy are more important than life itself. Supposedly, the punishment for dishonoring yourself can be dishonoring your entire family, even for one poor display of manners.
局長という立場にあるからこそ、己の過ちは素直に認めるべきだと俺は思う。まあ、世に言う武士のあり方とは少し違うかもしれんがな。
本物の侍でありてえと思っちゃいるが、今の武士の腐ったところだけを真似てもしょうがねえからな。
Soma was dumbfounded. He didn't speak or move. It was as if he'd never been shown a similar kindness in his entire life. Kondo glanced kindly at Soma, his eyes trying to communicate a sense of safety.
この絵を描いた伊吹君は元気にしているのかな。
I know, right? Poor Soma-kun. It's alright. We'll get onto his route eventually, but not now. We're sticking with Heisuke.
はい、とても。
そうか。それはよかった。なあ、トシ。
そんな奴のことは覚えてねえ。
Hijikata didn't care for Kondo's olive branch. However, Hijikata's body language seemed forced, making me feel as if he was secretly relieved that this Ibuki person is doing well. The other captains too reflected a collective sense of relief, easing the tensions from earlier. Was this Ibuki a friend of the Shinsengumi? It's strange to think about how large they are, and how many friends they've met and lost in time. It was obvious that Kondo deserved his place as chief, though, for his warm demeanor.
では、そろそろ帰ります。本日の期待の大使の方々に対する数々の無礼、お許しください。
Soma seemed like a completely different person to the man we met earlier, and he bowed deeply.
それじゃあ、俺はこれで。
Heisuke, Nagakura, and Harada escorted him to the gate. I think they wanted to see him off.
いやー、悪かったな。無理やりこんなところまで連れてきちまって。
そもそもあんたたちが俺から絵を奪い取ったりしなきゃこんなことにはならなかったんだ。
そう言うなよ。あんな物騒なもんを他の奴らに見られてたらもっと大ごとになってたんだぜ。
そりゃそうかもしれないが。
何にせよ龍之介の消息も聞けたんだし、一件落着ってことでよかったんじゃないか。
Boop. This guy is also a character in a kind of a prequel game to Hakuoki that never came out here. And arguably he's like kind of the main character of that one. So it's not a otome game, it's just basically like more Shinsengumi goodness visual novel thing. I'm surprised that they kind of mentioned that, but yeah. I had forgotten his surname as well until like started making connections, and then that cinched it. That's cool. Continuity.
そうだな。相馬だっけ？せっかく縁ができたんだし、気が向いたら遊びに来いよ。
遊びにって新選組と関わりを持ったりしたらいろいろと差し障りが。
ああ、そういや普通の半勤めだったな。確かに俺たちなんかと関わってるとバレたら面倒か。
いや、我が班は。
さて、そんじゃそろそろ飯の買い出しに行かねえとな。佐野、英介、付き合ってくれよ。
おう、そんじゃな相馬、また会おうぜ。
Soma's clearly too polite now to be like, yeah, if I hang out with you guys, my reputation's gonna get dragged down. Sorry, I should leave.
はい。
The three of them hurried off to the shop for their dinner ingredients, once again leaving me behind. Soma looked at me shyly, and we both smiled faintly before finding the courage to speak.
そういえば、聞くのを忘れていたが、君も新選組の大使なのか？
What should I say?
We're gonna say, no, I'm not.
なるほど。悪かったな。余計な詮索をして。
Oh, it's fine.
それじゃあ、俺はそろそろ行く。皆にもよろしく言っておいてくれ。
Oh, sure. Goodbye. I bowed politely and Soma walked toward the gate. Soma was so full of mystery, reminding me just how far I was from home. I turned to head back to the headquarters alone in the bleak summer night.
Boop. Stuff about Soma, which means nothing right now because we're not playing his story, so whatever. A very complicated housekeeper. Yeah, that's about right. And that brings us to chapter 2. Which means I should save. Yeah, Soma is one of the new guys that they added, so he does have a route. No save Heisuke speed run! Oh my god. Well, technically you could do a speed run. That's what the skip option is for. It just like speeds you right through until you make the choices, and then it speeds you through some more. It'll stop speeding through once it's gotten you to content that's new. It's actually really handy when you've like, you know, when you're finally on the very last route that you have to get through. And you just like don't want to read the same fucking text for the 13th time. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. But we got through the prologue and all of chapter 1. So I think perhaps that's a good place to stop. And because I want to get through Heisuke's story and get us caught up into good endings, I'm thinking Friday, instead of doing Ys, we'll just keep going with Hakuoki. All things get put aside for Hakuoki at this point. All smooching all the time. Yes! Well, I would definitely love to continue to play more, but I know my ability to read coherently is going to start to rapidly descend because I've already been fucking it up a few times more than I care for. So, we will reconvene in Kyoto on Friday night and do chapter 2, which I do believe is going to be when we dive into the Ikeda Inn stuff. Heisuke gets clobbered in the head and all that jazz. And I don't remember what else happens because my memory is like a sieve. But anyway, we will do more things. We will continue to win over Heisuke, and we will get his good ending. Gosh darn it. One more save just to be safe. Shaboop. Let's look at all the cool stuff we've got. Look at all them Heisuke CGs. So we're missing one here, which we'll probably be able to get. For real, man, Amagiri needs to stay the fuck away from Heisuke. What else do we have? I know, I don't want to look at the sad CGs, damn it. This one's cute. How do I wish it didn't have the dumb buttons. So many CGs unlocked. Evil Heisuke. This was like super freaking sad Heisuke. After being evil. But, you know. Our poor Bab. Oh, there we go. I figured it out. CGs! I think they meant change frame? But that's funny. English. It's delightful. Wow. Look at all the stuff we still have to unlock. Getting lots of music. Whew. But yeah, we're getting there. So, Friday, we will continue.
I will see you then, friends.
At least we got some lighthearted stuff tonight.
Thanks for hanging out. Sleep well, be safe, have a wonderful day, and I will see you Friday.
さようなら。おやすみなさい。